Oh my God, I remembered to turn my camera on before starting up OBS this time. It's nothing short of a miracle. I'm not a faceless voice this time. Hi everyone. Starlight Midori Land, welcome. Yeah, it's another Thursday, and at least for the foreseeable future, we know what Thursdays mean. They mean we're getting back to games that are about Japanese musicians and recording artists, as we've been doing for the last two Thursdays, I believe. As a quick recap, we've done what have we done? We've done Teddy Boy Blues, several versions of Teddy Boy Blues. We've done All Night Nippon Super Mario Brothers. We've done Seikimatsu Akuma no Gyakushu on the not the Super Famicom, the Famicom. And last week was actually mostly just Nakayama Miho no Tokimeki High School because it ran a little bit longer than expected. But the good news is we got one of the endings there, and I made a save point at the decision branch point in that game because the ending we got was a little lackluster, in my opinion. And I wanted to show everybody the better ending, which is the ending that I just happened to get on my initial playthrough that I feel like is a little bit more satisfying, maybe. And so we'll take a look at that real quick before we move on down the list away from the Famicom, at least for now. I mean, we'll never really move away from the Famicom, truly. But in this particular progression of games, we're gonna move on to some other platforms and see some other interesting stuff along the way here. I'm trying to think of any other housekeeping stuff at the top here, but I don't really think there is. And I needed to end, so we didn't take a look at how Nakayama Miho's game did in the pages of Famitsu, so we'll do that as well after we take a quick look at this other ending here. I got my walkthrough ready to go, so I can make sure I make all the right decisions. And there's one. We're planning 3 games for tonight. I think we'll be good for 3 games, counting the rest of Nakayama Miho here as one game. One of the other games I don't believe I'll need a walkthrough for from memory. It's very short. The other one I definitely will need a walkthrough, and we're gonna spend a little bit of time camping out on the third one because it is something special. Let me tell you. There's a lot of games coming up here that are very special, but this one is special in its own way. Not that all the games we played haven't been special so far, but we got we have a little bit of a specialness ranking, right? I would say. So all right, we're back here at our save point. And so, like most of these old adventure games, right, there's really like one, it's not always like this series of crazy decisions that you've had to make that all kind of come together to result in a decision. With this, it really just comes down to one branching point. There's one branching point in this game, and if you answer a question one way, you get the path to the blue ribbon ending, and if you answer a question another way, you go down the path to the red ribbon ending. We got the blue ribbon ending last time. Just to kind of remind everyone where the branching point here was, we had started dating. We had discovered the identity of Miss Nakayama. I believe she was going to high school. What was her name? It was oh gosh, I'm blanking on it. Nakazawa Mizuho. I don't think that's exactly it, but some very close alias that, she wasn't fooling anybody. Let's be real. She put on some glasses, and that was about all she did to conceal her identity, and gave herself the most bare minimum name change. And so we'd kind of gone on a date with her. We'd been abducted and taken to a rich girl's birthday party and missed a date. And then we made up. And then she kind of got busy with her, with work, with her job as an idol. And we kind of went on the outs again. And so now she's kind of trying to make things right with us. And we're going to go down the other path. Kira Kira no pop star. No, Hirai Ken is not here to enter Jax to dress as a cowboy and entertain us. I don't know if you were referencing that Hiraiken song Pop Star or not. I assume you are. I think that would have been about the time you were in Japan that song was popular, if I'm not mistaken. But that was a good one. That was a good one. That is the old fan sub group that I used to do work for way back in the day, way back in the early to mid 2000s. We did a Mognet.net. It's still up. You can still go there and read a lot of my early translations. My alias was Stiltskin at the time. I did not use my real name because that was a different internet with no social media where we didn't use our real names. We always used handles because why would we put our real name on the internet? That's crazy. But we did not only did I translate the lyrics to that song, but we did a fan sub of it, which you probably can't get anymore, because those things were on long dead torrent trackers, and maybe some of our work is still floating around YouTube from various uploaders, but and 1 million power song. It's my legal name. It's my legal name. That the whole thing is my middle name, actually. It's Brian 1 million power Clark. My parents, they really had a lot of foresight when they gave me my middle name, honestly. It's kind of amazing. All right, but let's finish up with Miss Nakayama here and see what she's getting up to. Just check that audio's coming through here. Maybe we need to turn it down a tiny bit here. That seems pretty good. Okay, and so we're right at our branch to go to the, I believe what we want is the red present ending. Our last ending was kind of like, you guys kind of broke up, but she never really forgot you, even though she continued, so it was just kind of like really hand wavy, like, okay, whatever. So I don't recall what the actual question was, probably like, what are your feelings for me or whatnot. Last time we answered A, which is, of course I love you, mochiron daisuki da yo. But to get on the other path, we have to give the less obvious answer, which is, so actually, I don't like you anymore. I've kind of grown to not like you. So we're gonna play with the poor girl's feelings here, and we're gonna tell her that we hate her. And we're gonna see where that takes us. Donna funi. Okay, and to remind everyone, we have faces. We have okay, donna funi. Did I click a face that I didn't actually see it give me a choice of faces. Them's is some strong words. Okay, I was supposed to pick Futsu no Kao anyway, so I'm okay. I didn't actually see the face select come up there, so I panicked for a minute. I was like, oh god, did we pick the wrong face? Because the face you pick matters in some cases. So usoyone, like you're lying, right? You're kidding. And so now we can say, no, I'm sorry, actually I love you. Or be a real tough guy and say, kirai datte iteru daro. Like, kirai datte iteru daro. I feel like I have to pull out the tough guy voice for that one. Like, I said that I hate you. But luckily, we're not completely cruel here. So we're gonna say, no, sorry, I was wrong. I wasn't serious. Hold on, I think I need to select the screen again here. Boop. Okay. So that's right. Okay, it's just my directional pads. Okay, so I need komatta kao. Komatta kao is number 6, which is kind of the swiggly line. This one, like the I don't know if a real person can actually make that face or not, but I tried just now. Ted Bob, welcome. I knew you'd be back. I knew you wouldn't leave Miporin alone. I knew you couldn't stay away. We're gonna find out what that other ending is. We're gonna get that red ribbon. And we've just started. So you haven't really missed anything. We told her we hate her, and then we told her, no, actually, we're just kidding, we love her. So we're kind of being a little bit of a jerk here, but I guess that's what it takes to get that other ending. So we're gonna give her the that's a terrible approximation of that face, but it's like, oh, you were Wami-po-kun, you were just thinking of me, even though we just told her we hate her and walked back on it. But okay, yes, sure, why not? I love you. I love you too, but there's always a but, isn't there? There's always a but. Okay, I'm pushing A. I just don't know anymore. I've got something to ask of you. And I think we got this on her last one too. Like I want to hear your feelings. Like didn't we just do this? Weren't we just talking about our feelings? Like I don't really get the setup. Or maybe she's just making it clear. Like I want to spell it out crystal clear. And so Wamipo, which I realized again I mistyped as Wamipe. It's like I don't know my goddamn hiragana alphabet after decades. My real feelings are... What are our real feelings? So, the one we're supposed to pick is B, which is I like you, but we've gotta call it off here. Right? I get ice cream. I get a different answer if I ask mom or if I ask dad, right? I get my ice cream one way or the other, except this time mom and dad are the same person. I don't know, that metaphor was really not going anywhere in this case, but you know, I had to try. And yeah, this is the third one. I think these are the exact same choices we got on the other one, actually. Which this one is I want you to retire from the entertainment world. And then what is this? Sawagi ga asamaru made. And so we should not. The first one is we should not see each other anymore until this all dies down. So we are supposed to choose the second one, which is I love you, but we have to part ways here. So we're gonna say that. And donna funi, we're gonna do komatta kao again. We're gonna do this one. So no, even though was it a lie that you said you love? She's saying the exact same thing that she did before. So I hope I didn't screw up and pick the wrong one. I don't think I did. We had kind of an extra layer on top of it this time before we got to the same thing. So I guess maybe in the end that makes a little bit of a difference. But we'll see. We've got a save point if I messed up here. No, I'm not lying. I do love you, but it's gonna be no good like this. This can't go on like this. I don't want you to have to stop being an idol for me. That no whammies life. Love living that no whammies life is just a general thing. Sayonara ne. I guess this is goodbye. I guess it is. Sayonara. Mate, wait, okay, this is different. I think this is different. I think we just broke it off before, and so now we've given her just enough to hesitate about that she says, wait. We're waiting. Okay, all right, I get it. But can I just say one last selfish thing? Will you listen to my one last selfish request? Wagamama kiku. Hi, we'll listen to it. Push an A. Oh, we gotta flip the disc. Look at that. All right, we're flipping the disc. Chotto matte ne. All right. Oh, look at this. This is new. Yeah, you got it, Starlight Midori Land. Except I don't actually... This is a save state before I got the other one, so we won't actually have both presents on the save file. So we will not, in fact, have two chances to win by using the Famicom Disc Fax service. So I don't think we're getting that. I don't think we're getting that VHS, and I don't think we're getting that phone card, even though I can probably buy both of those things on Mercari. But, you know, maybe not the phone card. I don't know, probably the phone card too. You can definitely get the VHS tape. Like, you can definitely buy that. I probably should own a copy of that. But, do they live in Hamamatsu Shizuoka in front of the big Christmas tree? I mean, I assume many cities in Japan have a big Christmas tree, but having not been there around Christmas, I'm unfamiliar with what the big Christmas tree in Hamamatsu looks like. I feel like this probably takes place in Tokyo, but did they expressly say where it was? I don't know that they did. I don't know that they actually said, oh, this is Tokyo. I mean, I know we've got, what's his name, Sadakichi, our buddy, who's clearly like from Osaka or something, but that doesn't necessarily mean this is in Osaka, right? And my pad just disconnected. Okay, it ran out of juice. Hold on. Getting my cable. Ah! Hitting the microphone. I don't think I charged it since last time, so bear with me here. Plugging in the pad. Into the Universal Serial Bus port. Okay, so this looks like it, oh, only because it's light shade. It's like, was it on like the side of a building like it is here? Or was it just like its own, I mean, it looks like that's the side of a building, because I think those are supposed to be, you know, skyscrapers or whatever, like lights, like office lights or apartment lights or something in windows. So I'm assuming that's like some office building or something that decided like, oh, what if we, oh, it's between buildings. Okay. All right, so we got a bunch of hearts. We're in front of the Hamamatsu Christmas tree. I believe I did just push A. Thank you very much. Wait, really? We had to flip the disc just to see the Hamamatsu Christmas tree? And now we got to flip the disc back again? Okay, all right. I can't believe Hamamatsu would do this to us. How dare they? This is all Hamamatsu's fault. Oh, we're back at school. Flip it again. That might break the game if I flip it. I don't want to do that. All right, so we're apparently back at school. But we did get a new scene there, so that was different from before. We definitely did not get that. So yep. So, hold on, let me actually read this in earnest here. Miho-chan ni iganakudata gakkou wa wamipo e no kimochi wa urahara ni kanojo no koto de. Okay, so he's, you know, all kind of messed up from her not being at school. And here's the vice principal back. It's like, oh, trouble, trouble, trouble. Yeah, and I think he said this before, like, this place used to be peaceful before you came here. You troublesome transfer student, you. And yep, the principal comes back. Yeah, he's just, this is all just a repeat of last time. Here's Sadakichi. So this is great. Shukanshi noru nante. Okay, he was Shukanshi. Hold on, let me open a gshow.org here, because this being in katakana, I think I know what this means. Yeah, so like he's talking about a weekly magazine. So we got, apparently, maybe because of our relationship with Miporin, we were maybe published in some sort of a weekly magazine, maybe a tabloid or something. Yeah, I think maybe he said this last time. He's like, will you sign it for me? A re-release of this game has a special addendum flyer with the phone, really? With the phone hotline messages since the phone number went out of service. The re-release, so you actually uncovered something here, Starlight Midori Land, that I was not aware of, that I probably actually should have been aware of when I wrote this book. So like, when you say re-release, you mean on the FDS still? Just like a later printing on the FDS that came out like after the phone numbers were taken out of service and whatnot? I wonder, I don't have in my head exactly when FDS games were published, you know, starting and ending, so that could certainly be a thing. Okay, so he wants us to sign the thing. And he's like, you too? Suma betsu ni waru. Yeah, it's like, it's fine. Come on, sign it. And now I have to read Kansai Ben on top of this all in katakana. Taking your feelings into account too. Sure, he's, yeah, don't worry. Oh, he's apologizing for not taking our feelings into account. He's like, yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Come on. I don't want to sit here and just look. Okay, we got these goofballs again. Yep, they went on a date with the weird sunglass bodyguards, which is just, I don't even want to unpack that. Sorry for causing such a fuss, so now that they see we're in a bona fide relationship, everybody's apologizing. Still want to see that face punched. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of asking for it, right? And then she is like, again, like, I didn't mean to get in the way of anything, blah, 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 but I actually really did like you. Yes, yes, yes. We all heard this before. We heard this all before. Erika-kun. He calls her Erika-kun. Interesting. Tashi ni dekiru koto. Yeah, is there anything I can do to help? Kasama to kenka shite demo nanto ka shite mimasu kara. I'll do, I'll see if I can, again, invoking her father, like things that we can possibly do to help here. And then this guy, the guy who wants to be her boyfriend, it's like, forgive her. Yeah, there's nothing to forgive. I think the responses are a little bit different this time around when we get to here. Yes, 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 come on. This is not particularly interesting dialogue. I want to see Miho-chan just one more time. That's right, I can call her. And everybody got it writing this down, just like before. Write down that number to call Miporin. She's waiting for your call. Okay, she's waited long enough. Hold on. Okay. Just scrolling down my walkthrough here because we've got a tiny bit more till we get to the ending here. But now I think, we're flipping the disc. Here we go. Flipping the disc. Got your wish, Enerjax. We're flipping that disc. Chotto matte ne. It's my water break time. Okujo. We're on the roof. Gakko no okujo. Okay, so let's see. The phone messages were only available on the hotline until, May 20th. Yep. So yeah, I think what you're saying is there was another FDS release. I mean, they probably didn't really change the packaging all that much necessarily. Like, it probably still, was more or less this. I'll have to leaf through this again, but I believe what I have... Oh, what the hell? What happened? Okay. I didn't do anything. Is that what I was supposed to do? Oh, yeah. I was not actually doing that on purpose, but yeah, looking at the walkthrough, I was actually supposed to wait for her to show up, so good thing I just started blabbing. Yeah, I think my disk system release is the original one, because I don't think it has any sort of documentation on what the phone messages are or anything, at least not that I recall. So here she is, Miporin. She's shown, which means we're probably good. We are flipping this disc constantly. I remember being very annoyed by this when I was doing footage capture for it and had to actually flip the disc. Get up and flip the disc every time I did this. Here she is. She's got her glasses back on. So I've been thinking about it all, ever since yesterday. I like singing and, the entertainment things that I do more than anything. And I really was thinking that I wouldn't be able to stop doing them. But I want to be with you after all. I don't want this to be goodbye. You're the most important thing to me right now. Oh. Miporin! Please, take me with you. What do you mean, take me with you? Where are we going? Take me with you. Miho-chan. It's absurd how many times we have to flip this disc. You play a real disc system game like Akumajo Dracula, Castlevania. You're not really flipping that disc. I think it's on. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these sprites. To Burger King! the Burger Kings that certainly didn't exist in Japan yet, right? That Burger King back in, what is this, 87? Something like that. Okay, so, Horojin ga futari torikanda. Okay, so, nandake, Horojin, are these like reporters maybe? Let's see. Oh, press. Yep, I've never heard Horojin before, but yeah, it's like the press corps reporters. So there's your new vocabulary word for the day there, Horojin. I've heard like reporter, but maybe that's a more modern construct or something. I've given up my idol life. From now, a hardcore wrestler. She's gonna do it. She's gonna next match is against Dump Matsumoto. That's what, or Bull Nakano, maybe. She's going right in and starting that feud. All right, so suddenly they've been caught by a couple of reporters. It's like, what is happening? What's your, they're saying like, what is this? What's your relationship? So now they're right on them. They want to get that scoop for the tabloids or for whatever paper they're writing for. Are you planning to retire? Is this like a skit is maybe the wrong word, but like, is this all put on? Is this just like a PR stunt? There was a McDonald's and KFC. Oh, there were definitely McDonald's and KFCs in Japan before Burger King for sure. I think there are still Burger Kings there now, but like, as far as I know, they've always been few and far between. It's been like Wendy's. Like Wendy's, their partnership with First Kitchen or fucking, I think there's technically more, but like the only Wendy's I've ever been to in Japan is the one in Ueno in Tokyo, and it's those two restaurants combined. Let's see, and then of course there's I don't know when Moss Burger came. I don't know if Mossu was before or after McDonald's. I don't know the history of all the fast food chains and when they first appeared in Japan. Miguel, run away! We're running from the press. Hey, Red Spectra, you're just in time for the conclusion. The more satisfying. This is a jaunty little tune. I like this, right? Yeah, this is good. We're doing the second ending from Nakayama Miho no Tokimeki High School. We're just on the verge of it here. We're running away with Miporin. She's decided to quit being an idol so she can be with us. And the press has discovered us and we're running. And the press says, you don't think you can run away, as though there's some kind of villain. Yes, you came in as I was talking about fucking. We were talking a very uneducated history of fast food chains in Japan, because when Miporin came and said, "Take me with you," I said, "To where? Where are we running to?" And Enerjax surmised that maybe we were going to Burger King, and we started talking about how there weren't very many Burger Kings in Japan, and how like there's a limited, Wendy's is there in a limited capacity, but they're always connected to First Kitchens, and so it's pretty much the history there. Mossberg was founded in 1972 in Narimasu, Tokyo, and Mountain Ocean Sun, which is like, what does that have to do with burgers? I don't really know, but they're small, but they're delicious. I like a Mossburger. I've never had anything from the fucking side of Wendy's before. I've only had Japanese Wendy's once, and it was just kind of whatever. I've never had Burger King in Japan before, not even once. I've had McDonald's many a time because, you get desperate, right? There's not always a Mossburger around. Sometimes it has to be Maku or Makudo if you prefer. If you want to do that Kansai style. All right. It's like, what you think don't think you can run away. We'll follow you as long as it takes. We'll follow you to the ends of the earth. We're reporters. Where's Ubersaurus? Can he vouch for his time as a reporter chasing after idol singers as far and long as it takes? He's never here when we need him. When we really need the hard-hitting questions answered, he's gone. Miho says, I can't run anymore. This is it. And we just tell her gambate. So we're just giving her the old pat on the back. Like, you can do it. Come on. We can, oh my God, who do we got? We got a bunch of, is that more press corps members here? Oh, she fell down. Oh, she tripped on a rock. She tripped on a rock and fell down. Them chasing track legs. Yeah, he does. He's built like a runner, that's for sure. All right, let's see. What's gonna happen? She tripped and fell. Oh! We've got a motorcycle coming from up front. We think it's gonna run into us. Kso modameda. It's all over. We're gonna get run over because apparently we're just running in the middle of the road. Oh, it's someone who knows us. Or no, sorry, this is us saying each other's names. Never mind. She says, Wami Poku, Miho-chan. We're like holding hands and being prepared to get run down by a bike or something. That KFC with the, oh yes, the old Colonel Sanders curse. Yep, I almost said Hanshin, the Hanshin Tigers. What's wrong with me? The Hanshin Tigers not winning the NPB series from 1986 up until 2023. I'm just going to say, I'm not a baseball person, so this doesn't really mean a lot to me, but when I went to Japan in 2023, which was the last time I went, I was there when Hanshin won. I wasn't like at the game, but I was in Osaka just completely by coincidence. I did not plan it. I did not even know that they were in the playoffs. But the playoffs that year were two teams from Osaka, Oriksu and Hanshin. So like it was two Osaka teams facing off against each other, which was crazy. And of course, everybody likes Hanshin, right? Nobody really likes the other team. But I think it wasn't the night that the playoffs happened, that final game happened, but right around there, because I was in Osaka for a few days. I was at a concert. I was at an Anisong concert for Angela, the anime song group Angela, for anyone who might know them. And Atsuko, their singer, did a thing with the crowd where, was getting the crowd to cheer and stuff like that. And she declared that one side of the crowd was Hanshin and one side of the crowd was Oriksu. And she apologized afterward for making one side of the crowd be Oriksu. I happened to be on the side that she called Hanshin. So I guess I got lucky. Anyway, sorry for the derailing story there, but Starlight Midori Land talking about Hanshin made me think of that. And the next day after they won the pendant, I was leaving Osaka. I think maybe I was going back to Tokyo or something. So I went to Shin Osaka Station, the bullet train, the Shinkansen station, and they had all the Hanshin Tigers stuff out. Like it was all out there. Like you could buy anything with a Hanshin Tigers logo on it that you could imagine that next day. And I think I got some people, I think maybe Energex did I can't remember anymore, but I feel like I brought like some cookies back for you and like a Hanshin Tigers tin or something like that. I think maybe. I did for someone. I know that much. I remember buying them. Anyway, motorcycle. Enough about the Hanshin Tigers. Could it be that this is... Who is it? Who do we think it is? Is it Sadakichi? Is he like secretly a biker? Oh my God, it is? It is Sadakichi desu. A button pin and cookies. Yeah, thank you for the reminder. I definitely did some, not for myself, but for other people. I did some Hanshin Tigers memorabilia shopping while I was waiting for my train. I don't think the cookies are anything all that remarkable, but then again, I didn't really expect them to be. I was like, oh, it's kind of neat because it's in a Hanshin Tigers tin and whatever. And what's the worst they could be, right? They're cookies. So like, how bad could it really be? You wash it down with coffee and it's a hopefully at least a pretty decent experience. All right, so it's Sadakichi, who's somehow a biker, and his teeth are sparkling, I guess. That's what that's supposed to be. So yeah, like get on this. We're gonna run away. Oh my! You can't go wrong with light butter cookies. Yeah, they're if you like coffee or tea, like they're hard to go wrong with for sure. Don't ask any questions. Just get on. Come with me if you want to live. That's like his equivalent of that, I feel like. Thank you. All right, let's go. We're getting on. Can 3 of us fit on Sadakichi's bike? Does he have a choppa? No, he definitely doesn't have a choppa. He hasn't achieved the dream of Japanese children everywhere. Just become an American biker. He has a much more Japanese-looking bike, I feel like. They're going to make us wait a little bit longer for the big finale here, I think. Here we go. I mean, that looks like only 2 people riding on the bike to me, but I don't know. I do not believe this is waiting for me to hit a button prompt. I'm hitting buttons and... Oh. Oh, yep, here's our credits. Don't say anything, just get on the moped. I feel like if you got to a moped, though, we'd be getting into, like, real... Okay, we got lyrics, too. Maybe this is a Nakayama Miho song, potentially? I definitely know some of her songs, but I admit I'm not, like, an expert. There's Yoshio Sakamoto, Mr. Metroid. But yeah, I feel like we'd be getting into real, like, territory on, like, your Mother 2 print, right? That you drew, where it's like all these people on a bike somehow. I feel like they'd really be getting into that territory, where it's like, we're gonna fit 3 people on this moped somehow. We're gonna make it work. Shining all world. Apologies for not translating the song lyrics, but... We'll just enjoy the music. Marure futari no only love song. Exactly. Yeah, we got it's a real upgrade over a bicycle. Winka. Kokoro no winka. So like winka, I think is like a blinker, like on a car or a bike or something, like a turn signal, the blinker for your turn signal. I think they call them winka in Japanese. So like the blinker of your heart, the turn signal of your heart, you know, like when you're steering your body, how you turn on your heart's turn signal so everybody knows whether you're turning left or right. We all do that, right? Of course we do. And you? Is it me? Is it me? Is it you? Wami pet. It's me! Nintendo. Finished. That was the ending that I got just by chance on my first playthrough, so I was a little bit surprised when we got the blue ribbon ending and it was like, oh, this is much more abbreviated. Oh, you've never heard? Okay, yeah, she's definitely got some good ones. I mean, she was, you know, super popular at this time for a reason, for sure. As with all idol songs, some are better than others, of course. You know, that's how it is, because they usually have a variety of people writing songs for them. So, like, one single is not written by the same person as the last single and what have you, right? So it can vary, and we should have a red ribbon next to our save file. There it is. So we can see, we can now send, if I get to go back to Japan this year, I'm gonna go to those stores in the manual and I'm gonna demand to use their fax disk service machine so I can send in. I do have a red ribbon on this disc, so I could submit my disc to Nintendo, and surely they would still enter me in to win one of those prizes. I can still hope for that telephone card. Right? All right. Now that we've seen the second ending, let us take a quick look at how this was received, shall we? So, we turn back to the pages of one of our favorite magazines, Famitsu. Let's see. We'll zoom in a little bit here, but what I want to point out to y'all here is I already have it already pulled up to the cross review section with Nakayama Miho no Tokimeki High School. But look at the absolute killers that are on the same page as this, just by chance, that came out, approximately around the same time, right? You've got I don't know who the hell knows about this game, Final Fantasy. Y'all ever heard of that? I've never played it. Never played any of them. I don't know what that is. But apparently people liked it. Rockman? What's a Rockman? I don't know that game either. Metal Gear? That's, yeah, no, of course I know all of these. And I've even played the NES version of Metal Gear for better or for worse. But yeah, this is stacked. Like, this is what a time to be alive in what is this, December 1987, is it? Yep. December 25th, 1987. Just, you're getting all these for Christmas. Every single one. You're getting a Final Fantasy, you're getting a Rockman, you're getting a Nakayama Miho, and you're getting a Metal Gear. My bad David Hayter impression. Miki Matsubara, yeah, there's no Miki Matsubara game that I'm aware of. Unfortunately, not every pop idol had a game made about them. Though the one we're going to look at next, it's a little surprising that this our next subject had a game made about her, given her popularity on the relative scales. But we'll get there in a minute. Miho-chan held her own. Yet Miporin. She got some pretty good scores. I mean, as you might expect, like, we're not going to read all these. We'll read some of the comments for Nakayama Miho. I'm not going to go through all these reviews here, but like, check it out. Like, no surprise, like Final Fantasy almost swept. Like, it got 2 9s and 2 8s, which is I mean, about I feel like about what that game deserves, especially for the time. I feel like this is. Without reading these, I don't know, if the people reviewing these were taking like the original MSX Metal Gear into context when they were reviewing this, but like 6675, like, I feel like that's pretty fair for NES Metal Gear. Interestingly though, Rockman, Mega Man got 2 5s and 2 7s, which seems, I don't know, that seems maybe a little low. Like, I don't think the first one is as good as like 2 or 3, but it's good. Like, I think it's probably better than 2 5s and 2 7s. So that's interesting. Oh yeah, the NES version of Metal Gear is a whole different thing. Yep. You do. The last boss is a computer in certain versions of Metal Gear. It's pretty wild. And the English localized dialogue in that NES Metal Gear is pretty wild too. Was that "I feel asleep"? Was that the guard saying "I feel asleep"? I think that was the Western Metal Gear. All right, but Miporin, she got 2 8s, a 7, and a 6, which is pretty good. It's better. So you heard it here. You heard it here first, everyone. Nakayama Miho no Tokimeki High School, better game than Mega Man 1, better game than NES Metal Gear, not as good as Final Fantasy 1. So when someone asks you what the best Mega Man game is, you tell them Nakayama Miho no Tokimeki High School is the best Mega Man game. Anyway, let's look at a couple of these here real quick, just to kind of see what people are saying. I screened these a little bit beforehand, and this one is like, this one was somebody trying to do some weird song lyric things that gave it an 8 and didn't really like justify their score. So we're going to skip over this one completely. It doesn't really say anything. They're just trying to be cute. They're trying to like make lyrics to an Idol song or something in the form of a review. But our first one here, Mega Man 1 was not well received. Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't remember. I feel like I became only really aware of Mega Man around 2, so maybe it just all around was just kind of like, this game's all right. It's whatever. So it kind of seems like this is reflects that. But our first reviewer here, which gave it a 6, talks about something I mentioned at the beginning, how fundamentally this is basically no different from Portopia Renzoku Satsujin Jiken, the Portopia serial murders case, like an early Famicom adventure game that came from a computer game. Or I had to look up this one. He says, Ohoku, which is apparently referencing, let's see, it's Hokkaido Renzoku Satsujin Jiken, Ohoku ni Kieyu ni, Kiyu, sorry. And so it's basically like they kind of made like these sequels almost to Portopia that took place in different parts of Japan, and one of them is in Hokkaido. So it's like the Hokkaido serial murder case. And Ohoku is a certain, like a sub-prefecture in Russia. Sorry, I misspoke. A sub-prefecture in Hokkaido that is like named after like a Russian name, because Hokkaido is like the northernmost, part of Japan, and so it's relatively close to Russia, all things considered. So I'm no expert on Hokkaido history and like Japan's relationship with Russia or anything like that. But so you played it, Ted Bob. Okay, I've played Portopia, but Portopia is the only one of those I've ever played. I haven't explored any of the other ones. Maybe that'll be a fun one to do sometime. So anyway, he says it's patterned after those kind of adventure games, which is 100% true. But he's like, however, like it has a school backdrop, like a school scene, and he mentions here that like that's so old fashioned. I don't know why it's old fashioned, but apparently it is. I like Portopia, but it's a bit tough. Yeah, it's games like that were a little obtuse. I feel like this, even if I hadn't been using a guide, like this Nakayama Miho game would have been way more obtuse. Me just like fumbling my way through it, Who knows how many game overs I would have gotten on the way to where I got. Let's see. Yeah, you get to hear messages from Nakayama Miho on the phone as you progress, which is a new idea, definitely a new idea. The whole crux of this game really was sort of just an excuse to get we want to use the telephone in a video game. That brand new invention, the telephone. But the game itself is very ordinary, but the theme is, is excitement. So yeah, and I guess that's why I gave it a 6, is because in the end, like the game's pretty cut and dry, but the phone idea is interesting. So our other 8, so somebody who I've got to assume, is this Morishita Mariko? Let's just look. Yeah, that's Morishita Mariko is our reviewer here. So let's see. So yes, to think that it's very timely that they used the very currently popular Nakayama Miho as a character in this game. I mean, that's no coincidence. It's not just a timely coincidence. It was absolutely planned. And she notes that this is she particularly likes the adventure game genre, so it's a genre that she likes, and so she really liked the game. So she's like, okay. The movement, the slow movement, like the scrolling of the messages, the slow scrolling of the messages and slow input of the commands, probably because of the Famicom disk system, she might have been like factoring the loading into that too, maybe, are a little bit concerning, but it's definitely a point in its favor that you can get hints over the phone. So she sounds like she's an idle, or if she's not an idle person, she's an adventure game person. So it's probably like any port in a storm. I just love my adventure games, so anything like that is good by me. Let's see. Yep, it's a new type of adventure game that uses a telephone service. Yeah, so he's like, at first I was moving the story along pretty quickly, but then I kind of got stuck partway through, which that's adventure games back then for you. That was going to happen. Happened with about all of them. Of course, I would have been able to move ahead with the game had I done things correctly, but they find it quite difficult to move along in the game. He says, managing is not the right word. Dealing is maybe not the right word, but like interacting with Miho-chan can be quite tough, quite difficult. So that's the takes on that game. So pretty overall favorable, I would say, for that, given that the lowest score is a 6. So yeah, pretty good, right? Miporin did well in the pages of Famitsu, I would say. All right, but now, after I take a drink of water, we're going to move on to our next one, and this one should be pretty short. Even from the beginning, I think we're gonna cheat it a little bit, but it's still gonna be pretty short. But we need to introduce our next subject because we're leaving Nakayama Miho, we're leaving Miporin behind. Rest in peace, Miporin. But we gotta move on here. We are gonna move on to a little. Hold on, I forgot to do a sound check on this one before I started, so we're probably going to turn down the volume on the stream a little bit so we don't get. I don't think we're going to get any copyright trouble for this, but let's see. No, this seems pretty well. Okay, little bit of background for us here. This is Noriko Ogawa. Admittedly, an idol that I was a lot less familiar with when I started writing for this book, but from what I do know, she doesn't have a super long history in the industry, but she started in the entertainment industry as a child actress, which is a little bit unusual for idols. Usually they don't come quite in as like child actresses. They come in a little bit later than that, in their teens and whatnot. But she appeared in some TV dramas, commercials, and theater and things like this, right? And she made her musical idol debut in 1986, and her popularity kind of took off in 1988 when she got a role on the long-running TV drama called Hagure Keiji Junjo-ha, which I'm wholly unfamiliar with. But this drama aired until 2005. It's one of those crazy Japanese serial dramas that's been airing forever. 1988 to 2005, so that's a long run, right? And she remained relatively active until she married a director in 2005 after the show wrapped, after which her appearances kind of became less frequent and her music dropped off altogether. But she did re-record a bunch of her old hits in 2017 for a 30th anniversary greatest hits album. So she doesn't have a real storied history like Nakayama Miho does. She was a little bit more low-key. But she was popular for a little bit there, for sure. I am not really at all familiar with her songs, so I had to kind of dig this stuff up when I was kind of working my way from the game backward, right? We'll let this one play it out, but since we only just got another minute left in the video here. But the game we're gonna look at is just called Noriko. And actually, I'll take this opportunity to change the stream info here real quick, if you bear with me. Let's see. I had this up and, oh. Let's see. Noriko. Where are you now playing? We are playing Noriko. And there we go. That's all taken care of. And just in time, she played us out. Yes, Starlight Midori Land is leading into my next topic here. I'll just turn this back over to chat for a minute while I get the game ready. So yeah, Noriko was published by Hudson. It was developed by Alpha System. It came out in December 1988. And it was a launch title for the PC Engine ROM. aka the PC Engine CD-ROM. I apologize. That's the full title. It was a launch title in Japan for that thing, along with a game you probably have heard of called Fighting Street. Certainly not to be confused with Street Fighter. Oh, no, it's just Street Fighter, ported to the PC Engine CD. I don't remember why they had to call it Fighting Street. I know I've heard the story of it before. I don't recall right off the top of my head, though. Let's see here. All right, let me get this going here. We've got Noriko. Here we go. Noriko. All right, let me switch over to the game here. Got our PC Engine up and running. Writes with the, that might be it. Yeah, the Sonny Chiba movie, I forgot. And maybe that was like the Street Fighter arcade game was, maybe because it was an arcade game, it was separated, or maybe that came out before the Sonny Chiba movie did or something like that. I'm just conjecturing at this point. But yeah, I can totally see that as being a possibility. That home release like crossed some sort of line or something, you know? Okay, so we're gonna hit our run button here. We're booting up. Hudson Soft presents to us. There she is. It's Noriko. Ogawa Noriko. Turn the volume up a little bit here. That seems pretty good. There she is. Right there on the title screen for us. So already, the one thing you can... And you hear her singing, right? There she is. And so the one thing that's kind of more up front here is we've moved forward in technology now, right? So like something you couldn't really do on the Famicom. Like the Famicom, like even if you had Nakayama Miho songs in here, they were chiptune versions of them, right? And like you could only represent, you know, Nakayama Miho as like a pixelated version of herself, right? But now we can put digitized photos on a disc. We can stream music from a disc. And so this is all kind of the beginning of, you know, a whole new way of representing games like this. You can make them very much more directly about the artist. All right, we got to enter our name. Let's see if I can actually enter this correctly this time. Let's see here. Let me orient myself. What button are we using? We're using this one. And how do they have this set up? Not gonna hit this one this time. Not gonna hit that one. Gonna hit this one. Wa, mi, po. Seikai. All right. All right. So, okay, this is some pixelated text. So I'll do my best with this here. That is tough to read. But at least we've got kanji now. Like that's something, right? Okay. Oh, so okay, so a letter arrived. Okay. Oh, I didn't get to read the text, but okay. Oh. Let me see if I can turn up my volume here. That's a little bit so I can hear the voice. Okay, so this is a letter from Ogawa Noriko. Oop. So it looks like we have an invitation to her concert here. And now I have this as covering up the text, so let me see. All right, so basically this is saying like, go to the concert or don't go to the concert. What if I just say no? What if I say I don't want to go to the concert? No, not going. Oh, okay. Well, that was quick. Game over. That's it. That's all there is to the game. No, that's not all there is to the game. But that is a bird, a goofy looking bird up there at the top of the game over. All right, can I hit buttons? Would you like to let me play the game again? Can I not make up for my foolish decisions? Guess I can't. Let's reset. So we got to go to the concert. We've at least established that much, right? We've got to take her up on her invite, and we've got to go to the concert. We'll put in our name one more time. I'll just go ahead and save state after this, just to be sure. Wait, hold on. Yeah. No. Wait a second. Where is it? Why am I not seeing it? That's right there. What are the... Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay, never mind. Okay. Alright, let's save state ourselves here. Okay, so this is a diary. Kissa nandake. That text is just real hard to read. I am not gonna try that too hard. Yep, it's an invitation. Okay, so we like sent in like a post, like some sort of correspondence or something, so maybe we're in the fan club. Yeah, and so this is as a thank you for writing in. We're invited to the concert. Yep, she's waiting for us. All right. So this time, I suppose we'll go to the concert. Not everything is digitized. This isn't exactly like FMV or anything, right? Okay, Konsato Kaijo, so here we are. And if we look at the banner up here, at the top, it says Ogawa Noriko, Fasto Konsato. So it's her first concert. We're getting it on the ground floor, everybody. We're here for her debut. All right, so here's the concert hall. This is look at this goofball. Is this like the version of Sarakichi of this game? So there's a lot of fans. Fan ippai desu. Look at this. Look at those teeth. How they've rendered those teeth. It's got some real like long chompers going on there. Good lord. Like everybody else is relatively normal looking, but this guy with the camera doing the peace sign is just a really got some chompers on him there. All right, so there's a lot of fans here for the first concert. Here's some more of them. This guy's wearing a looks like a Noriko t-shirt. There's someone in like a yukata or something back there. So what the heck, we'll save state again just to kind of check out what some of these options are. So we can go inside or we can wait outside. So maybe we wait outside, see what happens if we wait outside. We just save stated. So let's just see. The concert's starting. Let's hurry up and go inside. All right, is this a but thou must? Yeah, it's a but thou must. They're railroading us into the only one decision we can make, which is to go inside. So we're going inside. Oh, here we go. Thank you for coming to my concert. I'm really moved. I'm gonna sing with everything I've got, so please support me. Listen to this song called Kowareru, or like breaking. All right, we're just gonna jam here. We've got kind of video of her a little bit, kind of sort of like stills, right? Which is, I guess, pretty neat. Everybody have your glow sticks? You got your glow sticks ready? No? No glow sticks? I went to, nothing to do with idol music whatsoever, but I went to Creepy Nuts last night. They were playing in Chicago, And I think I only saw a couple glow sticks, which, I mean, Creepy Nuts are not idol music in any way, shape, or form. They're kind of like club hip-hop music. But I think there were like 2 or 3 glow sticks there. Whereas like at a Japanese concert in Japan, you, depending on what it is, you definitely see some glow sticks, especially at idol concerts. Not that I've been to an idol concert, but I've seen plenty of footage of them. I'm generally speaking I don't dislike idol music necessarily. I like some of it more than others, but it's not, I wouldn't call it my thing all around. Game after this, we're getting into something that's more my thing. I'll have plenty to talk about our next game and our next artist here. Don't leave her behind. I got a solo. A little bit of shredding. Brief solo, but solo nonetheless. I haven't been paying too much attention, but I assume they're just kind of shuffling around the same few digitized images of her and banking on the fact that you'll be really impressed by this because you've probably never seen anything like it outside of a computer or something. We're layering the images. Do people have favorite idol singers, new or old? We got any independent of whether they were featured in a video game or not? Do we have any idol favorites? I think Ted Bob, you're a Nakamori Akina guy. Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly? Ah, Moritaka Chisato. Okay, yeah. Okay, I was in the neighborhood. I'm trying to think who would I pick? Boy. Not like Matsuda Seiko, really. Like, Matsuda Seiko has some good songs, but I'd even take, like, Nakayama Miho over Matsuda Seiko. I like Nakamori Akina might be a top contender. Kyari Pamyu. Yeah. She's like a sort of modern day, like a more modern day sort of like, not edgy necessarily, but like more experimental, weird kind of version of an idol singer. Yeah, I appreciate what she does for kind of taking that whole thing in a less normalized and more interesting direction. I hope I get to see you all again. Goodbye. Thank you. All right. What a great we came in for one song. We got one song. Ogura Makima. I would not put it past you to know some idol singers that I don't. I'm trying to. I know Ogura Maki. I don't know if I'd call her an idol singer, but that might be who you're thinking of. Ogura Maki. She's pretty good. I like her. Da la 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 da 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 yappari na 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 na. That's the one Ogura Maki song that I think of when I think of her. Anyway, enough of me singing. You didn't come to hear me sing. You came to hear Ogawa Noriko sing. The wonderful concert has ended. And speaking of which, the letter said, come to like the music, and maybe like basically the equivalent of like come backstage afterward, like the rehearsal room. So, okay, we got an invite. But make another save state here. We got some choices. We can go, which is obviously what we're supposed to do, but we can also just go home. I'm too nervous. Heart's pounding. I can't meet this idol. I'm gonna go home. Oh, hi. Oh, you're the... He's Noriko's manager. Hi. Oh, we've been waiting for you. Okay, so he's just guiding us there. So like we can't just go home. We have to go. Yeah, Utada Hikaru. Yeah, that's legit. Like again, like the boundary, like we're just sort of broadening this to pop singers, and I'm okay with that being the conversation. Like Utada Hikaru, definitely not what I would call an idol singer, but definitely a pop singer. Like not ridiculously outside of that. Yeah, Utada Hikaru is great. Utada Hikaru is a treasure, really. And they always have been. I think I definitely got into Utada before Kingdom Hearts was ever a thing. So I started watching like music programs probably back in 1999 or something. And I think her single was Can You Keep a Secret at that point. And I was like, this is not really my genre. Like I'm not a big R&B person generally, but like Utada's what they kind of do to the R&B genre has a really good unique flavor to it. And a lot of it really drew me in. Like favorite Utadas, I don't know. I like Traveling a lot. I think Traveling might still be my favorite Utada song even now. Anyway, okay, we're going with Noriko's manager here. We're going backstage. Oh, this is her room. Okay, I'm gonna go get her. It's that guy, Noriko. Konnichiwa. Hello. Thanks for submitting the whatever it is that we submitted. Let's hold on. Let me look up what Teiki in this case is, because there's not a word that Teiki. Yeah, so I don't, it's like a fixed, so it's like Teiki itself just means sort of like a fixed term, regular. But in this, like, it's almost like a ticket. Like, I think she's using it in the case of like Teiki Ken or like some sort of like ticket or pass or something. So I think that's kind of what we're looking at here. We've submitted something. Your favorite Utada songs are First Love and Automatic. Yeah, Automatic gets stuck in my head so often that I've lost count of how many times it's so easy to sing. It's so easy to get stuck in your head. And yeah, First Love is a classic for sure. Okay, so thanks for submitting the whatever, the application, the ticket, whatever we're calling it. I actually have a request for you. Oh, she has the day off tomorrow. But the friend that she had plans with backed off on her. So she has a day off tomorrow, which is rare for an idol. But the person she had plans with backed out. So we're being asked if we will, in fact, spend the day with Noriko tomorrow. So what do you think? Do we accept the offer or do we decline the offer? I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend the day with Noriko. It doesn't actually sound like that much fun. Nah. No, please don't say that. Come on. Is this another but thou must? All right, what happens if I keep doing it? I'm going to do it again. All right. It's but thou must. Okay. So, guess we got to do it. I guess we got to spend the day with an idol tomorrow. What a real pity. Thank you. She's very happy. Yep, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Sorry to ask more of you, but thank you for being so kind about it and accepting. The next day. Okay, so this is where we're meeting up with Noriko. We're at the meeting spot. It doesn't look like she's here yet. So, are we gonna wait, or are we gonna leave? I don't like to be kept waiting. Not gonna wait. Going home. We're leaving. Ah! Muko kara kuru no wa Noriko-chan de wa. So, isn't that Noriko coming from over there? So they really Ah! Noriko janeo! Senzen chigau hito nanda. It's a totally different person. Yeah, that is not... I don't know how you could make that mistake. That is... She's winking, though. We can make those sprites wink now with the power of the PC Engine CD-ROM, that's for sure. Alright, so that's definitely not Noriko. Alright, so I think it's gonna railroad us. So if we say no again, do we just keep running into the same lady? I bet we do. Or is it... I just want to see if it's a different person. No, same lady. Okay. We're just gonna keep mistaking Noriko for this woman. So we better just wait. We're gonna agree to wait. Ah, and so now is it actually going to be her coming from over there? I bet it is. There she is. Did I keep you waiting? Where should we go? Okay, so. All right, people, whoever's still out there, we got some choices to make here. I don't believe there's one... This isn't a game like Nakayama Miho no Tokimeki High School where there's, like, correct choices, I don't think. At least from what I remember of it, because there's no real walkthroughs of this game, because I don't think it kind of even really matters what you do. You get to the same point. So, we got some places where we can take her, right? So we've got, you know, our favorites, right? We've got Shinjuku and Shibuya here. Shinjuku and Shibuya. We've got Roppongi. Is that Shimo Kitazawa? Hold on. Let me see if I'm right about that or not. No, I'm wrong about that. Pardon me for not necessarily knowing the name of the last place. It's just not a kanji that I recognize off the top of my head, but no doubt somewhere else in Tokyo. So do we want to go to any of the popular spots here? Do we want to go to Shinjuku or Shibuya or Roppongi? Anybody have a preference as to where we take Noriko here? Or if anyone has been to any of these places in Tokyo and has a favorite spot or a favorite spot through videos or anything like that. Otherwise, I am happy to pick, but I will wait a moment in case anyone would like to do the choosing for us here. I mean, I can tell you that, in many ways, I think that Shinjuku and Shibuya are overrated, but, like, there's some good record shop in there. Like, they can't... I'm not much of a Roppongi person at all. I'm not a club person, and that's mostly what you would go to Roppongi for, like expensive bags or something like that. Neither of which are my forte. But I don't know, I guess I would pick... I'm trying to remember where the disc union that I really liked shopping at was. I feel like that was in Shibuya, so maybe we'll just be we'll be stereotypical, we'll be basic, and we'll say Shibuya. Shibuya it is. Here we are in Shibuya. There's the UC building in back there. Oh, are you hungry? Let's go get something to eat. All right. Oh, look at this. Everything looks so good. Oh, so we've got... All right, okay. Let's do another save state here. So it looks like we've got... Oh, we're spinning the wheel. Okay. Ah. We're just gonna land on Hazure, aren't we? Hazure is like a miss. Oh my god, it just gives you a game over? Oh, game over Janayon. Okay, it was a gag. Alright, so we get another spin. Alright, so it's hard for me to tell what each of these dishes are supposed to be. I definitely think we got okonomiyaki on there. I think we've got takoyaki on there. But like what's in the bowls is hard to distinguish with these sprites. I mean, I assume one of them is ramen, but I don't know what the other one is. Maybe like a gyudon or something? Like, I suppose we'll find out when we land on it. Let's spin the wheel again. Don't think we'll get Hazure this time. What do we got? What do we got? Okay. You wanted to eat it? Is that unagi ka? Are you gonna say what that is? You're not. Okay, but whatever, you're full. All right, let's go. You ate a thing, and now you're full and we're going. Where should we go? Oh, okay. So we just kind of get to go down the list, I guess. So we went to Shibuya already. So, I mean, I guess we can say Shinjuku. Go to Shinjuku, see what's going on. Oh, sorry, this is Harajuku, my bad. Something was off about that kanji reading. Harajuku. Oh, she wants to buy some clothes. That's what you go to Harajuku for, after all. Will you help pick some out with me? Yeah, sure. We'll help you pick out a new outfit. Why not? Yeah, sure. There's a boutique. Let's look around in the boutique. Okay, cool. There's a lot of yofuku is the kanji here, by the way, Western style clothes specifically, so not like a kimono or something. That's all they really mean by Western style clothes. I'm gonna try on a bunch of different stuff, so wait right here and wait and see. The iconic place for kawaii fashion. Yep, it is. Harajuku has quite the history. Let's see how kawaii her fashion is. Okay. Where she's changing. Oh, okay. What do we think? Is this Sugoku-i? Or is this the one? Or do we want to see some others? I'm thinking we can look at some others, right? Let's not go with the first one, right? All right, changing. I like this better. I think this is a lot cooler of an outfit. I'm tempted to say this is good, but we can do better. Okay, all right. I think we can do better too. Let's try it. Let's try and do better. I think this is a downgrade. Right? This is a downgrade, isn't it? I think we need to keep going. I don't know what it's too samey. Like it all just being blue like that. It's a little matchy for me, really, I guess. I'm not super into this one. Downgrade for sure, right? Yeah. All right, let's see what we got next. It's kind of frumpy, isn't it? Don't you think? Like, that doesn't suit her very well, I don't think. It looks like she's like wearing her mother's dress or something. I don't know. It's not really working for me. Not a fan. I don't know, maybe it's the collar, maybe it's like the polka dot. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I'm not into this one. Let's see what we got next. Not bad. Again, I feel like it's a little samey though. It's like the same color top and the same color skirt. Like, have a little, we can do a little bit better in terms of variety of colors, I feel like. It's not bad, but I don't know. Nah, I'm gonna say nah. I don't know how long we can keep this going for, but we'll find out. Again, it's okay. Not as good as the other one I saw earlier. I don't feel like it's not bad, but I don't love it. At least, I mean, it's still sort of like pale colors. It looks like it's white and like the cardigan or whatever is pink. So it's not so matchy-matchy, but I don't know. I feel like we can still do better than this. What else we got? I don't love that hat. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we got a better mix of colors here. That hat, what is that? Is that like a beret? I don't know. It's okay, I guess, but... You're okay. I feel like I can't just go with this. I feel like I gotta, there's gotta be something a little bit better. What? Okay. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry, but no. You look like you're... I... Take me back to the last choice. Are you into this one? Is this the one? Is this the one? Are we going with the big overalls? Do we have any good faith votes for the big overalls here? If we do, we can pick them. I'm willing to be flexible. All right, okay. All right, we're gonna do the overalls. Fine, we'll do it. It's great. Sugoku-ii. Yes. Oh, she doesn't even bat an eyelash. She's like, all right, I'm gonna buy it. Okay. All right, let's go. So, I mean, we literally could have picked anything. I think it didn't matter, but it's just, you know, it's all just the fun of seeing the different outfits. And Bob likes the overalls look. Fair enough. That's... All right, where should we go now? Okay, so we've gone to Harajuku, we've gone to Shibuya. Let's go to Roppongi, I guess. And then we'll save our mystery one that I can't read the kanji for, afterward. Roppongi desu. Roppongi desu. Oh, she wants to go to a disco. Oh, wait, we have to teach you to dance? What made you think I know how to dance? Who do you think you're talking to, girl? You're an idol. You should know how to dance. You should be the one teaching me how to dance. All right. You know what? We can teach her or not teach her, but you know what? If she really wants to learn my moves, pitiful as they are, I'll teach her. Sure. She's looking forward to it. Let's hurry up. Let's get in there. Let's get into that disco. It's my disco. Yep. Okay, let's go. What are we doing in the... Okay, all right. We gotta... Oh. We're gonna be treated to another one of her songs, I assume. Wait, this is the same song! Can I skip? I can skip, okay. So do you think I have a talent for dancing? Sorry, I skipped that. It is literally the same song that we listened to earlier, so I don't think there's really too much value in it unless you wanted to see the goofy backgrounds. You got some talent, girl. We'll tell you got talent. You can do it. Thank you. Are you a little bit tired? Let's go. Yeah, we've been dancing at the disco for so long now. Oh, we're pointing to the clock. It was fun. I want to hang out more, but I gotta go. Thanks for indulging me. What a beautiful sunset. Oh, nighttime. Some nice shots of buildings here. I don't think this one's the Hamamatsu Christmas tree. Thank you very much for today. I'd really like to go somewhere again together sometime. We'll do another save state so we can talk to her or we can go home. We'll try and keep her talking. Ja, goodbye. Okay, so yeah, I would probably keep talking to her and she's just gonna say ja sayonara every time. Okay, so she wants us to go home. All right, going home. What a wonderful day with Noriko in her overalls. Oh, ame. I did not know that was coming. Oh, that's right. So she says, so suddenly rain. Looks like quite the rainstorm here. So she's like, do you wanna wait it out at my place? So we're moving fast. We're moving fast. So you know what? Let's wait it out. Let's wait it out at Noriko's place. Here we are. This is her room. This is her place with her cartoon drawn curtains. Crazy rain, huh? Here's a towel. She's gonna put on some tea. So we're really living the life. Oh, look at that. We got a muffin! Little muffins! Should we do something until the rain stops? Not like that. Oh! Oh, we have to take a quiz on Noriko. And the prize is her singing a song. All right. So this is where I'm going to cheat a little bit and use Google Sensei because I don't know anything about Ogawa Noriko, and I absolutely had to look these up. I don't think this is a timed quiz, but I will, if I have to artificially pause RetroArch, I will. But all right, so we're taking Noriko suddenly puts on her cap and gown in her own house and makes us take a quiz about her. And the prize is her singing us a song. Just so we're all on the same page here about what's happening. Good, a little bit of a narcissist, yeah. She's an up-and-coming idol, so maybe she has a little bit of a complex. That may or may not be true. All right, but we're gonna go along with it, because honestly, we don't have any choice, right? So, question number 1, I'll save state here just in case there's a hidden timer on me, but we don't have anything ticking down, so I don't think we do. So this is easy, right? We can look this up on Google very easily. This is her birthday. So, according to Google, her birthday is January 20th. January 20th, 1973, but we're not going to get the year here. We don't ask a lady her age, right? We just know her birthday. So we're at least gonna get her birthday right. So 7/20, right? Okay. And we don't get that, we don't know if we're right or not until the end. So we'll presumably get a score at the end of all this. So question number 2, where is she from? Where's her hometown? Again, according to Google, she was born in Tachikawa, in which I believe is in Tokyo. Tachikawa, Tokyo. So this is Tokyo-to, so Tokyo Prefecture. We also have like Hokkaido Prefecture, we have Kumamoto Prefecture, and we have Kyoto Prefecture. She's a Tokyo gal, it looks like, so we're gonna say Tokyo. Third question. What's her favorite subject? Like her favorite subject in school? Boy, oh boy, I'm gonna have to look this one up. Give me a moment. I didn't prepare these questions ahead of time. Let's see. Ski na kamoku. Let's see if I can find these answers. By being a little more specific. I know I looked these up when I did the playthrough, but... here we go. Bear with me for one moment. Oh, this might actually... This review is just it's someone reviewing it on their blog saying, how the hell should I know what her favorite subject is? Right. Okay, so I'm sure I found this at some point, but I think maybe it doesn't matter. So we're gonna do a little guesswork here, right? We can always just take a save state here. So okay, the choices here are English. So we've got English. We've got we've got science. We've got, maybe this might be like home ec, basically. I'm trying to think. I'm not 100% sure what our second radiology. I don't think it's English. I don't feel like it's science. I'm not 100% sure how to read this as a subject. Idols love radiology. It's true. We're gonna say cooking. We'll go with that. Her blood type. We can definitely find out her blood type without too much of a problem. At least I think we can. Let's see. Is it in her Japanese Wikipedia profile? For Ketsueki, her blood type. Let's see here. B. She's B gata. So she's B blood type. Question number 5. What was the title of her debut song? I believe it's this one, Namida o Tabanete. But I'm gonna fact check myself here by looking at her list of singles, which is somewhere on this. Shinguru, Namida o Tabanete. Yep. 6. I don't remember how many questions we have here. Maybe it's 10. So what's her favorite season? Spring, summer, fall, winter. Spring? Spring. What is the instrument that she's good at? So the trombone, the flute, the sax, or the clarinet. I feel like she's a clarinet girl. I don't know what it is about her, but I'm thinking clarinet. Anybody else have any strong feelings about trombone, flute, sax, or clarinet at all? Just like Ted Bob had about radiology, maybe you also have a strong feeling about her musical instrument of choice. She speaks clarinet to me. She seems like she was a clarinet girl in band. That's not positive or negative. It's just kind of how I feel. I can tell these things about people, you see. No, I can't. I have no idea. I'm really just guessing. And I don't think I'm going to be able to find this information too easily. So I'm tempted to go with my gut here and say that she plays a mean clarinet. Let's say it's clarinet. I'm going to go with clarinet. Okay, so Oshkat, so that was close. But we passed. We didn't get a perfect score, but we passed. That's good enough for me. Seikai bun dake utau wa ne. So she's going to sing only the parts that were correct? I don't know what that means. All right. We get a song from it at least. Maybe it's a song about radiology and how much she loves radiology. It is a different song, at least this time. I wonder which one we were wrong about. I bet I got her favorite subject wrong. But yeah, I agree that you would have to be a pretty hardcore fan to be able to get answers to all those questions. Even the musicians that I really like, I can't necessarily tell you, like, right off the top of my head, oh, what's their, I can't even necessarily tell you off the top of my head what their birth date is. But I guess being an idol fan sort of lends to being more sort of, you know, obsessed with those details, right? All right. Forgive me. I'm going to skip this if I can. I can't. We're listening to it. I'm hitting buttons and ain't nothing happening, so we're listening to it. We're stuck listening to Ogawa Noriko's song, so we might as well enjoy ourselves, I guess. When I was refreshing my memory on researching her, an auto Google filled answer was like, what happened to Ogawa Noriko? Like, what is she doing these days? So I think she's just been out of the spotlight for a while. It's probably just living life with her director husband and not worrying about being an entertainer too much. Oh, okay, we got a taco. What do we got? Oh, should we have like our like compatibility, like, you know, like a love tester kind of deal? Should we like measure our compatibility? Sure. Okay, she's got her fortune teller uniform on. All right, let's say, okay, if you're going out to have fun, you would rather go to the mountains than the ocean. Yes or no? I'm gonna say, I feel like Umi, the ocean, is the way to go for this. And for me, I guess I'd probably pick Umi over Yama. That's just my take, but let's go Umi. Or no. So if we want to say no to this, because the question is mountains are better than ocean, so we're gonna say no. Oh, that's really a fortune teller outfit right there. You like childish girls. That's a big no. I do not like a childish girl. When you're going out, you always have a camera with you. I mean, technically, yes, in this age, like, I have a camera in my pocket, so sure, let's just say yes. If you don't have a cup of coffee every day, you can't, you know, you're just not together. That is 100% true of me. Like, my minimum to function is a cup of coffee. Really 2, but I can get by with 1 if I need to. So yes. So for whatever reason you're not good with meat, you don't like meat. I am a meat guy. So I'm going to say no, I'm just fine with meat. Okay. 2-star. I don't know if that's 2 stars like compatibility. So listen to this conversation. Okay, that's a cat man lifting dumbbells. What is happening here? What does that mean? Okay, what? I guess that the compatibility was 2 stars, but I have no, like, context for what that even means. So, okay. All right, do we want to see her album, her photo album, I think she means? Sure. Sure. Okay, so do people know? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna, oh God, hold on. I'm gonna pause this real quick so I can explain this to people. Do people, I know, if Enerjax is still in the chat, I know she knows what this is, but maybe, is anyone familiar with Achimuite Hoi? The Japanese game Achimuite Hoi? So when you do Janken, you know, rock, paper, scissors, Janken, and, you know, after that, so the winner, so like if I throw, you know, scissors and you throw paper or something and I win, I point to your face and I say, achi muite hoi, and I move my finger in like a direction, and you lose if you move your eyes or your face in the same direction as my finger. So I think we're going to play Janken and then do achi muite hoi against her. So we have like a thing, like we hit a direction pad on here to throw rock, paper, scissors. So that's kind of how this is going to go. So we got to beat her at a game of rock, paper. Learn it from Princess Tomato? Okay, I guess I forgot it was in Princess Tomato. All right, I'm going to throw rock. Achi muite hoi. Janken pon. De hoi. Pon. Okay. Eiko de sho. All right, she keeps beating us. All right. We've had like no one win any. Oh, I got you! Ah, she got me on that one. More people learned it from that arcade game making the rounds on Twitter. What arcade game is that? I am, as a person who doesn't look at Twitter too much anymore, I am maybe a little unfamiliar with what arcade game you're talking about. Okay. Okay. I never thought I would be playing Janken and Achi muite hoi with an idol. And I mean, of course, this is just pure chance, right? We could be doing this forever. Damn it, Noriko. Are you gonna make me play rock, paper, scissors with you forever? Haha. Damn it! Come on! I don't want to play this game with you forever, for God's sake, and we're only tied at one game apiece. Just look in the direction that I want you to look in! Ah, got you again. I'm in the lead. I'm in the lead in the Great Janken contest. Yeah. Ah, we're tied again. This is match point. Ah, she won. So wait, I still get to look at it even though I lost? Okay. Her as a child, no doubt. Okay. Great. 2 photos in your album? Yeah, sorry for keeping you here too late. Looks like the rain cleared up. The stars are so beautiful. A shooting star. You got to see a shooting star. It was really fun today. Oh my god, she said my name! She said Wamipo! Look at that! The miracles of technology! Alright. Oop, I did not get to read that in time. And that's the game! That's kind of all there is to it. There's not a lot. This is really just obviously kind of succeeding on the back of it being a, oh, lucky boy, I'm lucky boy. But I mean, as you can see, it's kind of just succeeding off the back of the fact that it's on a CD-ROM and the fact that it has, you know, digitized photos of Noriko and her songs and, you know, her voice. And it feels like a more realistic way of interacting with her, right? So like that's what we were dealing with here. And like I am a lucky boy. I am lucky boy. Yes. We'll play out the credits here before we look at how this did in Famitsu, but like I don't know, I mean like this is very much a product of its time. Like I feel like it's really hard to be impressed by something like this now, you know? And, you really have to put yourself back in the time that it came out to be able to sort of get why it was cool, if it was cool. We'll see in a minute. Maybe people didn't think it was. But, yeah, I don't know. It's, it sure is a CD-ROM game that you could buy for your PC Engine CD-ROM. And I guess if you were a big Noriko fan, it was probably right up your alley. Mind-blowing in 1989, yeah, for sure. I think it probably was. And again, for like a Noriko fan, like you were eating good. But for anyone else, it's like, why would you? You know? Yeah, Ash2DVST asks a very good question. Why I don't go with Wami Pa, which would be short for 1 million power. The answer to that is as dumb as you can imagine. Oh, thank you. The answer to that is as dumb as you can imagine, which is on, I think these are Patreon only videos. But I did, some of my first Patreon only videos, I did kind of like a playthrough of Otogiri So and Kamai Tachi no Yoru, these sort of, also sort of adventure games in their own way on the Super Famicom. And I meant to do Wami Pa, short for 1 million power, but without thinking about it, I put in Wami Po, and Wami Po just kind of stuck. And I think it has like a funny ring to it, so yeah, it's a dumb answer, but that's the reason. And actually, it's very fitting in a way because the reason, you know, I guess technically it is my company, but my channel is called 1 Million Power, is, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Kinnikuman, but, or Ultimate Muscle, or whatever variation you may or may not know it as. But there's a character called Buffalo Man. He's actually on my border here. You can see him in the upper right with the guy with the buffalo horns. He has a move called, I think it's Hurricane Mixer, but I used to have a t-shirt of him that said 10 million power, I think, Hurricane Mixer. Like, this is not a true story, by the way, everyone, just so you know, not a true story. Oshimai, the end. But I had this, like the first time I went to Japan in 2008, I got this shirt because it was a really cool looking shirt. And years later, when I, decided to spin up a website to do some of this stuff, long before the YouTube channel, I misremembered it as 1 million power and not 10 million power. So the whole name for my thing is based on me misremembering things. So in a way, it's it's extremely appropriate. The legend of Wamipo lives forever. Truly, he will never die. All right, let's do the other thing that we do here and look at some magazines here real quick. Moving on to our next magazine. So we want to see just what the editors of Famitsu thought about Noriko. And we, on our page here, on our Famitsu page that we're on right now, we don't quite have the killers. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the lore. It is the one thing I can offer is lore. I've been into this stuff for quite a while, whether it be anime or Japanese music or games or whatever, and so I got plenty of lore. We don't have as many killers reviewed on this page as we did when we looked at Nakayama Miho no Tokimeki High School earlier, but we do have a Beat Takeshi game here for the Family Trainer, the Power Pad, the Japanese version of the Power Pad, and we do have Fantasy Zone 2 on the Famicom, which got 6, 6, 7, and 4, so that's neat. It's up there right next to Fantasy Zone 2. We've also got King of Kings, which is a game I'm not very familiar with. But here we do have Noriko on the old PC Engine CD-ROM, one of the launch titles, as we were talking about earlier. It got a 6, 4, a 7, and a 4. So pretty middling, I would say. About maybe even a little more than what this game deserves, but again, at the time, you have to kind of reframe it for yourself, right? You have to think about what this would have looked like at the time versus what it looks like now. And so our first reviewer, who gave it a 6, like, he's saying, to be honest with you, I'm a little split on the value of the software. Like, there's pros and cons to it. And he says that it's a very simple game, and it is a very simple game, as we all saw. But the idea behind it, like the planning behind it, is new. The presentation of it is kind of a new idea. He's like, even if you don't go so far as to shell out money to buy it, there's value in seeing it, if that makes sense. Like there's value in experiencing it. And he says that if maybe your friend has this disc, like, definitely take a look at it. It's worth seeing. So he's basically saying maybe not worth a buy, but if you know somebody who has it, you should look. So let's take a look at maybe one of the low reviews and one of the high reviews. So this next reviewer says, I really experienced a kind of culture shock with this game. So he says, in my case, I completed the game in about 25 minutes, which is probably relatively similar to what we did. I stopped and messed around and I was talking and stuff like that. But if I was playing straight through it, like 25 minutes sounds probably about right, I would say. So they finished the game in about 25 minutes. But it does have 3 of Noriko's songs in there, so they add that as a plus. But he says if you think about this as a normal video game, it's really kind of nothing. It's really kind of a pity. Though it is a game, it is a piece of software that lets you experience the benefits of the CD-ROM format. So really just kind of calling out, like, there's really nothing here as a game. It's more kind of just a multimedia experience than it is anything else. But and the other 4 review here, just to kind of summarize, it said, yeah, it's like I'm watching a video. It ended in 30 minutes. It's just kind of a photo collection, almost like something that was put out by a record company. But our highest scoring person with a 7, let's see what they had to say. So they said it's a very good showcase of the capabilities of the CD-ROM, and it's a very new feeling type of game, which fair enough. It's full of Ogawa Noriko's charm, which, okay, again, if you're a fan, I guess so. And it really gives you the feeling of watching a promotion video, which I guess they're viewing that as a positive in this case. They're like, yeah, it's a little bit lacking as a game, but to be able to, it's nice. And I think this was Morishita Mariko, I think our female, Morishita Mariko, our female editor here, basically saying like, but it's a neat idea to be able to go on a date at any time. So sure. Yeah, that's okay. I don't know if that's really much of a review, but sure. You can go on a date with Noriko anytime, even though it's a very one-dimensional date. Fine. Okay. Let me, that's Noriko, and that's Noriko Ogawa. But our next one, we've gone through some pop idols, and like I said, I'm not immune to a pop idol. I'm really not. I don't want you all to think I'm made of stone here. But I'm a rock guy, if I'm being completely honest with you. I always have been. I appreciate the ins and outs of pop music. I even like some pop music. But rock is what I always tend to go back to every single time. So now, before I show you a video of our next, well, you know what? Before we talk about the game, let's talk about the subject. The subject is X Japan, also known in their early days as just X. So I definitely don't want to get copyright dinged for this one. So I'm gonna try and find as our background here. Okay, this is their cover of 20th Century Boy here. A Yellow Monkey equivalent to Journey Escape. We're gonna get a Yellow Monkey game. We're just not gonna get it in this stream. I'm really looking forward to the Yellow Monkey one because I can talk about them a ton, but I can talk about these guys a ton too. This is, you probably all know X Japan in some manner, right? You probably at least heard of them. This is a very early video of theirs. This is from their Blue Blood era, so their second album. This is a concert called Bakuhatsu Zen Gig, like a gig on the verge of explosion. This is in their very early Visual Kei days, so before they became a little bit more of a household name of a rock band, if you will. But if you're not familiar with the Visual Kei movement, it's a genre of Japanese rock that still exists today, though in a slightly different form than it was now. It's this kind of like, you know, makeup heavy, very much an emphasis on like the visual look of the band along with the music. Visual Kei doesn't necessarily imply a certain style of music. It usually implies rock, but like your style of rock can kind of be all over the place. Usually it's something kind of heavy metal adjacent, but it's not always necessarily something heavy metal per se. You can have some variation there. But X Japan was they came around in the 80s, and they were a pioneer in the Visual Kei genre, around some other bands like Buck Tick. You know, they weren't the only ones. They weren't solely responsible for the Visual Kei genre. Yep, very theatrical generally. Again, your mileage varies depending on the band, right? Some bands lean more into the theater than others. But there generally is some sort of an element of theater to it, whether it's just with the costumes or whether it's with the performances. But X Japans they're pioneers and they're legends in this, right? Nowadays, Duran Gray is one of the more modern Visual Kei bands for sure. Duran Gray is not new, by any stretch of the imagination. I got into Duran Gray way back in the early 2000s, but they've gone through like some sound changes. They've evolved more, I would say, than your average Visual Kei group does. They don't really sound anything like what they used to if you look at their before and after, which is not necessarily the case for a lot of Visual Kei bands. Yep, ran in some circles where Duran Gray was king. I did too. I haven't visited them in a long time. I actually should probably give their stuff a listen. But I like their first 3 albums a lot. I did not like it when they started changing more to like screamo metal. They always kind of were a little bit like Kyo always did like to scream, but they went to a more scream heavy sound and I did not follow. I think they've had some other changes since then, so I really should give them another shake. But anyway, X. I really started getting into Japanese music kind of like, 1998, 1999 type era. That's real. I mean, I was into it a little bit before then, but that's when I got like really sort of like hardcore into it. And X Japan was an early one that I found as a guy who likes heavy metal, right? So they were an early find for me, and I found their like 80s kind of heavy metal charm very appealing because it was a lot of the stuff I was into. I found their visual look very appealing because like we had some stuff in America with glam rock. We had like your early Guns N' Roses, your Motley Crue, your Poison, but it's different, right? Glam rock is definitely Visual Kei adjacent. Like they're not unrelated. But they're just different things. Like I would even say that even X Japan's early Visual Kei look is not quite as Visual Kei as bands would do later. Like they have a little bit more of an 80s style to them. But like you look at Visual Kei bands coming up in the 90s, like your Lunaseas, your early Duran Grays, They had a little bit more of a little bit of a different kind of Visual Kei look. That's not all that dissimilar from this, right? But still, it was a little bit different. So it evolved over the years. But X was a big one. They influenced all of the Visual Kei bands you like today. I promise you took influence from X. Like there's no doubt. And so they got more popular. Their third album, Vanishing Vision, got real big. And so X kind of settled down a little bit, like a lot of Visual Kei bands do. They became a little bit less hardcore looking and a little bit more quote unquote normal rock band looking, right? They didn't all dress up quite this lavishly. Hide, one of the guitarists, kind of continued the Visual Kei mantle, really. But the rest of them, I would say, backed off into kind of looking just more like your normal rock band. And that's fine. That's, you get older and you get more popular and you don't have to try as hard, right? At least in terms of the looks. They always produce some pretty quality music, though. But the band broke up. And I believe, what were we talking about for the band breaking up? Was it 98? Let me fact check myself here. It was 1997. I was a year off. So they had what was called the Last Live. I do Starlight Midori Land. I am familiar. I'm not intimately familiar with. I'm actually not sure how you pronounce it. Aldios. I haven't seen the katakana, but like I believe they have Oyama Maki Oyama, who I am a huge fan of. I actually was just wearing one of her shirts yesterday. I believe she steps in as their vocalist. And so if I'm thinking of the right band, and I think I am at least a big Maki Oyama fan. So yes. Oh, you're speaking my language, Ash. I watched, I guess I maybe was a little bit after you. I wasn't watching it quite so early as 97, but I kind of started watching it in 99 and into the 2000s. This was Hey 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 and Music Station and like Utaban and Countdown TV were big points of exposure for me too. I learned about a lot of bands and a lot of artists that way. So yeah, we come from a similar time, I think, and from a similar background. But X broke up in '97. They did their last live at the Tokyo Dome. It was full of many tears. You know, people were very sad. They'd built up quite a fan base back then. And then when you came to 1998, May 1998, Hide passed away in a very unfortunate manner. So he was found in his apartment, hanging. He appeared to have hung himself with a towel around his neck, attached to a doorknob on his door. What is it called? Autoerotic asphyxiation or something like that is sort of what his cause of death was named as. Yoshiki, the band's leader and pianist and drummer, who is still with us, cannot prove this, but he surmises that Hide's death may have actually been an accident. He surmises that Hide was trying to do a neck stretch, like stretch out the muscles in his neck with the towel, and that may have led to him accidentally hanging himself. Either way, like I mean, J-rock and J-pop have definitely had some tragedies over the years, but I mean, for me personally, this is one of the biggest ones because Hide, while X Japan was still going and after X Japan, had a tremendously successful and like very creative solo career where he just produced some absolutely amazing music and was really just kind of like a huge pioneer for the visual kei industry, right? Like he kept the visual kei mantle going and proved that you could have variety in that genre, because his stuff just kind of went all over the place in his solo career. It wasn't always sticking to like the visual kei kind of heavy metal rock template. He definitely did some interesting stuff there. And yeah, it was Heath. Sorry, we had a mention of Heath here, but Taiji, the bassist who you have here, who you see in this footage, got kicked out of the band for various disagreements, and he later passed. Heath replaced him. Heath passed not too many years ago. And as Starlight Midori Land mentioned, Heath did the ending song for the Sega Saturn port of Phantasmagoria, which I did not know. That's cool information. All these guys, Pata, the other guitarist, Yoshiki, Hide, Toshi, the vocalist, they've all had their own solo stuff to varying degrees of success. I would say Hide and Toshi's were the most successful solo artists. Yoshiki kind of went on to become more of a producer and, otherwise sort of a businessman, really. He has a studio in LA that he, does music production at. And I don't know how controversial of a take this is. I guess I'm just going to put it out there and y'all can judge me for it, right? But, as X Japan broke up and as, the band, the individual band members, because X Japan broke up and they got back together. They got back together in the 2000s. Obviously not with Hide, because Hide had passed. They recruited Sugizo eventually, who is a very, very well-known guitarist in the VK industry because of Lunacy. He's the guitarist for Lunacy, sort of like one of the X Japan successors. And he became their Hide replacement. I mean, he has no designs on replacing Hide. Like, he knows that Hide cannot be replaced, but, he filled in the other guitarist slot, right? And he's a great choice. He's a great guitarist, and he's a fantastic choice. But for me, X came back after all that time, and it's cool that they came back, but not only because of the lack of Hide, but just because of, I think the songs, what few new songs they've produced off and on in the time that they came back, I think are very lackluster. That's just my opinion. Other people may disagree, but I just don't think any of them had any oomph. They didn't have any character. And how much of that is because time passed, and how much of that is because Hide was no longer with the group, we'll never know. Because Yoshiki, like, pound for pound, Yoshiki wrote most of their songs, for sure. And Yoshiki wrote all the ballads that people know X-Japan for, right? No doubt. Yoshiki has made amazing contributions to music, immeasurable contributions to Japanese rock, and I would never try to take any of that away from him, not in a million years. But I feel like as time passed, he lost his way as an artist, I think, and he became a little bit more into the business side of things. That's just my opinion. It doesn't diminish his contributions of the past, but I think he forgot his roots. I really do. And I think some of the things he's done, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the sort of appearance of an X-Japan-like band in the manga and anime versions of Dandadan, the popular series Dandadan. They had a band called Hayashi who appeared and were very much like an ode to X-Japan. And they had Marty Friedman, ex-guitarist, Megadeth guitarist Marty Friedman, and his band write sort of an X-Japan-like song for Hayashi to perform in the anime with the vocalists of Anisong group Grand Rodeo sort of doing his best Toshi. It was amazing. It was the best X-Japan song that there's been since X-Japan broke up. Better than any song X-Japan themselves has done since they came back together. But Yoshiki got a little pissy about it on Twitter. And I did a whole video about this on my other YouTube channel, my neglected YouTube channel about Japanese music that I haven't updated in a while. But if anyone wants to watch that, it's 1 Million Power Music is the channel. But I don't update it regularly because I just don't have a lot of time to. They did, you're right, Ted Bob, they did do Dragon Force for the dub, which was kind of a neat touch for sure, keeping those classic heavy metal roots. But Yoshiki got a little pissy about it on Twitter because the production company didn't consult with them first. And to be fair, they should have. Yeah, that's probably the way you play the game, right? No doubt. But he made all these sort of like vague threats on Twitter, like, I don't know what's going to happen. We're talking to the lawyers now. And it's like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, it was obviously a very loving tribute. And like, why are you being this way? No one is taking money out of your pocket. No one is trying to steal X-Japan away from you. Like, not be grateful is not the right word, but like, be understanding, be cool. This was done. Oh, thank you. I one day I will update it more. I have not abandoned it, I promise. It's only got a few videos on it, but I just, working a job and doing videos and doing streams, it does not leave a lot of time for a second channel. But one of these days I'll put more stuff on there. It's a little bit more of me on camera than it is on the gaming channel, so I appreciate that. But I was not happy with his reaction. I really wasn't. And I really think Hide would have been ashamed of him handling things like that if Hide were still alive. I can't know that, obviously, but I feel like their spirits just became so different over time that it's just a real pity, my opinion. But Hide, I have a friend who told me a story a long time ago about getting into the Beatles later in life. And how she got into the Beatles, in like her teenage years, long after, the Beatles were broken up. And finding out after that she'd listened to a bunch of the Beatles, only after that John Lennon had died. And how, like, weird that felt and how emotional it felt in a different way, right? To sort of be experiencing his death, but not knowing it on the front end, right? That's kind of how I felt about Hide. Like, I had listened to X-Japan for maybe a year, maybe not a year, but for some period of time, I'd become quite familiar with their catalog before I found out that he died. And it was, you know, it was still a blow. And they've made documentaries about his life. They made a movie about his life in Japan. So like, he is well remembered. They have a sing-along thing with other Visual Kei adjacent artists that Pata, X Japan's other guitarist, comes to and plays at every year. So he continues to be honored and probably always will be. But yeah, it's just a shame is all. I'm glad the band kind of isn't going on. Like, they've really sort of stalled out. I guess there's some sort of maybe a record company or ownership right disputes that is keeping X Japan from doing much of anything else. Yoshiki has alluded to this. Like, I'm glad they're still at it, but I really do feel like they're a shell of their former selves. But, you know, that's just how it is. Yeah, I heard the English dub of the new Fist of the North Star anime, and it is abysmal. Not that I'm the type of person who would watch the English dub. I would, of course, watch the Japanese version. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm actually not super excited for it because I don't really feel like I need that story to be told to me again. But maybe I'll check it out. And yeah, as I posted about this on Blue Sky, but as Starlight Midori Land is pointing out, Toshi did do a cover of Aio Torimodose, originally by Crystal King. His versions of it's good. Toshi's a great singer. I love Toshi. He has one of my favorite voices in rock. Toshi has his own weird history of being like inducted into a cult and like breaking free of the cult. He actually has a book about it in Japanese that I haven't read yet that I really need to one of these days. But he has his own history of recovery from that. But Toshi's a neat guy. He wrote a book about how much he likes sweets. I read that book about how he discovered his love for pancakes at having to go to late night IHOPs when they were recording in America for, I think it was the Dahlia album. They recorded it in LA, and like the only time he had to go out to restaurants was late at night when they were done with their recordings, and he found his love for pancakes there. It's a very neat book. He talks about, you know, cake and just how much he loves sweets, and I respect that sort of a genuine attitude, especially in like a big rock star like him. He's not my absolute favorite heavy metal singer, but he's up there. All right, Yoshiki's in the middle of his drum solo here. We're gonna cut him short here, I'm afraid. The original Aio Torimodose is still my favorite anime themes. It's a good one. I think in the end of the day, I still like it more than I do. I think I still like it more than I do. What is it? Is it actually called Tough Boy? The second, now I'm like fact checking myself here. Is it actually called Tough Boy? It is actually called Tough Boy. Yes, I do like that one too. It's not as iconic as Aio Torimodose, but I do think it's really good in its own like 80s rock sort of way. And yeah, subs are a must. I agree with that. But I caught some clips floating around Blue Sky of the, like, this is probably it has to be the worst English dub that there's been in a while. Like, you all should check out some clips of the English dub. It is a sight to behold. Let me boot up our next game here. And so X Japan, they did have a video game of a sort. And we're kind of doing a little bit of a fast forward here. So we went from the Famicom to the PC Engine CD-ROM, which was not that much of a jump forward ahead in time. It was more of a jump forward in technology than it was time, I would say. But we really had nothing in the 16-bit era. Nothing that I could find. That's not to say that there isn't something out there somewhere. But I really could not find any of these type of games that came about on the Mega Drive or on the Super Famicom or anything like that. They just did not seem to exist. Did they AI? I don't think it's AI dubbed. if you can believe it, it's a different kind of bad. I think it is the type of bad that only people could maybe I'm wrong. It didn't sound AI dubbed to me. It just sounded like the worst low budget voice actor dub. But, take a listen to it, see what you think. Maybe you can make an AI dub a little bit better than I can. But we're jumping forward past the 16-bit, and we're jumping right to the Sega Saturn. And from here, everything is going to be Saturn or PlayStation. So we're almost stepping up even more from the PC Engine CD, because now we can do more than just digitized photos and stuff like that. We can do actual full motion video. So here we go. I am gonna set us back to our game here. We are ready for some X-Japan Virtual Shock 001, because I guess they planned for there to be sequels to this game, and there were not sequels to this game. Spoiler. December 31st, 1994. Tokyo Dome. Here we are at the Tokyo Dome, everyone. And we are in front of X-Japan's concert in very grainy footage, because this is the Sega Saturn and that's how we do. And this is a series of year-end concerts that they would sometimes do. Shiroi Yoru and Aoi Yoru, I believe. Oh, hold on. We're getting into the actual game part here, so I'm just going to pause this and explain this real quick, because we're about to get into some of our wonderful dialogue. I promise you, this is a real treat. But I want to, Red Spectra. I love the Saturn too. The Saturn's such a great platform. I would not hold this up as one of the best games on it, but it certainly is interesting. So just by a real quick way of explanation. So after X-Japan reached a certain level of popularity, they would do like concerts around New Year's Eve. It would usually be like a couple nights at Tokyo Dome. And so you saw it briefly in a sign, though it was a blink if you miss it sort of situation. This was Sega Presents X-Japan Tokyo Dome 2 days. So Shiroi Yoru and Aoi Yoru, White Knight and Blue Knight, were actually sponsored by Sega. So that is where they got any concert footage you see in this game, and all this probably venue footage, is because they were sponsoring these 2 nights. Let me catch up on a couple things here. A point-and-click game similar to Myst, since Myst was a big thing in the 90s, even in Japan. So Myst clones came out. Yeah, you'll see in a moment that this is very similar to Myst. If I'm gonna make a beat 'em up about a J-pop, J-rock band, who's your band? Ooh, that is a great question. I mean, I feel like X-Japan is a gimme, right? Because they, especially if you go back to their earlier incarnations, like they're very visually distinct. They have sort of a tougher looking, image, right? So like from a game design perspective, I feel like they're the best choice. Like if I'm producing this and like I want a game that's going to sell, and I want a game that's going to feel right for like what a beat 'em up is, I'm probably going to pick X-Japan. But I mean, I can't be unbiased here. Like we'll get to this game in probably a couple streams, but like I'm going to pick Yemon. I'm going to pick the Yellow Monkey, because and hear me out. I think there's a decent reason for this outside of just because they're my favorite band and I'd like to see them in a beat 'em up. I think you could actually play it real silly, because like a lot of their live performances, like Yemon is not visual. I would not call them Visual K at all, though they, at a period of time, they were a little bit adjacent. Like they are definitely a little bit of a sillier band live, not like outright comical, but like they're not afraid to do some goofs, And I feel like you could make a real interesting environment based around that, especially about some of their songs. Like you've got like, this is a B-side, but like New York City Loser, you could do it like in New York and you could have them like brawling through the streets of New York and like all this goofy shit happening. And in their video for the single My Winding Road, part of it was like in a disco. And so you could do like a level in a disco. And so I think they have a lot of really interesting things that you could pull from and make like backdrops for the levels and have like these humorous things happening and things like that. And you could do this with any band, obviously, but like, you know, you could give them each like their weapon. Like you could give Emma a guitar, you could give Annie his drumsticks. Obviously you could do that with any band because every band has a drummer, every band has a guitarist, every band has a vocalist and things like that. So that's not unique to them. But, oh no, I think Perfume would make for a very stylish beat 'em up, actually, because their image is sort of like, what, sort of like techno-y future sort of thing. So like I think you could do some real interesting stuff. You could do some real interesting stuff with Perfume for sure. I think that would be a really, really solid choice. I don't think it's an odd choice at all. I think it's a really good one. But I think there are a lot of good choices for that. I think you could really make a good beat 'em up for a lot of these. And by the way, one quick note before we resume here, and I got my walkthrough up for this because you got to kind of move around for this and know when to go where and things like that. But the name Virtual Shock, calling this X Japan Virtual Shock, is a take on X Japan's long-running slogan, which I believe was penned by Hide, psychedelic violence crime of visual shock. So they took the visual shock part of that and turned it into virtual shock because this is a video game, right? So we're in a virtual world. All right. And so now this game has voice acting. Oh boy, does it have voice acting. It has full motion video, and a lot of it is in English. So I won't have as much translation to do because I think X was fancying themselves an international group by this point. Even though they kind of didn't really make that jump, like they tried to, but they didn't really manage to achieve any kind of international popularity until after they came back in the 2000s. You're going to main Achan? Yeah, Achan. I'd probably main, God, I'm blanking of the names. There's Achan, there's, I'm not a huge Perfume fan, so now I'm like blanking. Who's the one? There was one who wrote a book about video games a few years ago and interviewed Masahiro Sakurai in it. Nochi? Is it Nochi? I guess maybe I would pick Nochi because she's clearly into games and she has some Kashiuka is the other one. That's right. I think if I'm picking based on looks, I would probably pick Kashiuka. If I was picking based on like, you know, personality, I would probably pick Nochi. But that's our picking our Perfume mains. I love it. I love it. All right. And so we have.
You're the cameraman, aren't you? I'm Luke.
Cameraman.
Magazine. Nice meeting you. Sorry
I'll turn this up.
Short notice. I wrote today's schedule on a sheet.
On a sheet.
So please take pictures according to it. Also,
Okay.
this is the pass you need to get backstage. So let's get started with no time to lose.
Let's get started with no time to lose. Here we go. We're going into the Tokyo Dome. I've been in the Tokyo Dome. I haven't been backstage. I went to see Yemon at the Tokyo Dome back in 2017. It was pretty fun. Okay, we're setting up. We're setting everything up. We're a cameraman, as you heard. We're supposed to take photos according to this sheet. You know, that's what a cameraman does, right? They're given a sheet, and they take photos according to the sheet. I'm sure that's how that all works. All right, so here it is. Virtual Shock 001, X Japan. All right, we don't need to see the intro again. Thank you very much. We're starting things off. Here he is.
Okay, here's your camera.
Thank you.
And it's already loaded.
It's already loaded.
Let's see. Maybe backstage. And when the concert gets started, I'll see you in the press room.
See me in the...
The elevator is over there, and the green room is to go to the meeting. So you take it easy, and I'll see you later.
Okay. All right, and we actually move. So this is kind of where it's like missed. So like we have these FMV, you know, we can turn. I can turn. Oh, I can turn to my right. There's the operating main office. I can turn back. I can turn this way. There's the production room. And so we can go into different rooms. You would be playing this game forever if you did not have a walkthrough. So I am definitely going to be following a walkthrough here. And I am going to go into the operating main office. Here I go, walking into the door. We got some tables set up, and we can even kind of look around the room here. Oh, you get film! Right next to an ashtray, so we got some extra film for our camera that's already loaded. So now we can look around the room a little more. We got some coats. It's hard to tell what direction you can turn and what you can't. You got the hot water heater on the table there. You got somebody's hat. Ashtray full of cigarettes. Now we're backing out. Walking back out of the operating main office. All right, so now I'm going to do a save state here and there, because believe it or not, there are game over conditions in this, and one of them I'm absolutely going to show you because it is, to me, the highlight of this game is this specific game over condition. All right, so here we go. We're supposed to go to being stopped by the staff in front of the elevator, and if I remember correctly, well, actually, we can go and we can talk to this guy first. Let's go talk to this guy who's guarding this door. See what he has to say.
No, you can't come in here. No.
No. We can't come in. Just no. He's not going to let us through. Jerk. All right, so we're moving forward. Moving forward again. Where's the elevator? Is the elevator down here? I feel like the elevator's down here. I kind of sort of remember this one. Keep going. Yeah, okay. What? Yep, okay, we got this. I don't honk Japan, got them chasing track, Philips CDI, but I feel like this would be on it. Oh yeah, this is a very Philips CDI type game. Apparently you're making a fictional story about a fictional J-rock band inspired by real J-rock and J-pop artists, and games starring them gets me ideas for a game featuring my band from the story. Is that real? Is that a thing you're actually doing? Yeah, it feels like your keyboard went a little haywire on you, Ted Bob. I think I got what you were saying. Like this game seems like it belongs on the Philips CDI, and it totally does. Okay, so we got this dude guarding the elevator here. This very this guy. So we're gonna try and get on the elevator.
Good morning, sir. Can I see your pass, please? That's a backstage pass, I'm afraid.
Okay.
You need an all-area pass to come in here.
Oh, no. Okay, we can't come in. All right. So we got stopped by the guy on the elevator. So he's not letting us onto the elevator. So that ain't happening. What are we going to do now? So we need to go into... Let's see. It says, Hiruba no oku, hirarite no heya de hanashi o kiku. So, we need to go into the room on the right-hand side, maybe in like the main area here. So we're going out to this main area. So this is kind of like the general staff area, it looks like. In all of its grainy glory. And if we look over here, we can't go there to the right. That's just people sitting at the table. But let's go ahead and walk over here. We go to the right here. Oh, there's a camera lens. Can I... You get! All right. But also, okay, so we were supposed... Okay, so the opposite side is where we got the lens. And there's our pass. We can hit a button to... All right, but it's the opposite side, so it looks like we... Oh, this person right here. I have a permission to film. Okay, he's going to give us a pass if we go to security. Okay, so we talked to him. We got our lens, which to think that we came into this without a lens as a cameraman is kind of crazy. All right, we got to go back here, is it? Tokyo Patrol staff room. Talk to them in the Tokyo Patrol staff room. Wherever that may be. Let's see if we can find it. Is it down here? We got little... That's dancer's room. Dancer's room. How many rooms do the dancers get? That's nothing. Nothing. Okay, I can't even go in that door. Okay, so it's not down here. Tokyo Patrol staff room. Anything on this side? Nope, it's just a wall. I think we need to go back. I don't think anything out here is going to do us any good. That's where we talked to the guy. So I feel like we probably need to go back this way. And I think there was another room back here that we could get to. So there is a game over condition that can happen somewhere, and I don't remember exactly where it is, so I'm gonna give us a save state here. That's the elevator, so we know it's not there. Press room. I don't think that's the same thing, but let's just try going into the press room anyway. Why not? What do we got to lose? So we got an very old laptop on the table there. Oh, that's what, a program, maybe? Pamfuretto? Probably. Certainly not our pass. But it did say Tokyo Patrol staff room. So let's keep looking. Production room. Which is also not the Tokyo Patrol staff room. I don't think there's anything we can do in here. No direction is particularly responding to anything. That's back to that guy. That's the operating main office that we already went into at the beginning. Can I get into this door right here if I go down this hallway? Let's see. There it is, the Tokyo Patrol staff room. Fantastic. Oh.
Huh, who did you ask? You're talking about Alaria Pass, right? I think you should talk to the production staff.
The production staff. PS1 era does have a lot of games. You're going to see some of these. I don't actually know Rockin' Riders. But you may be seeing the rest of those games on a future stream here. I'll never tell. The production room, I feel like, was one of those ones we were just at. Maybe it was this one. Oh, that's the press room. Production room was, I think, on the opposite side or something. All right, that's press room. I feel like we went into the production room just a minute ago. Or is it maybe one of the ones back here? Production room? Yes, production room. Here we go. Here's this guy.
All area pass. You mean you're one of those cameramen, right?
One of those cameramen.
Okay. Here we go.
業務連絡、ただいまよりリハーサル開始します。
Rehearsal starting. Just so you guys know, got to be at rehearsal. All right, so we've got our all area pass. So now I believe this will allow us to get onto the elevator. So let's go back to this guy and see if he'll let us through with our all area pass. All right, sir, please let us through.
Sir. Can I see your pass, please?
You may.
Ah, you're a cameraman. Please come in.
Please, just like you tell someone to get in, like you would normally tell someone to getting in an elevator. Please come in. Please come into the elevator. All right. I believe we want to go up to floor 2, if I'm not mistaken. 2階ですよね。はい、2階へ移動。Up to floor 2. Okay. All right, here we are, up on floor 2. So we'll start seeing more of the band members' rooms up here, if I'm not mistaken. There's Pata's room, the guitarist Pata. Can we go into Pata's room? Let's see. Oh, we got a guitar over. We got a nice little monitor there. That's cool. Oh, hey. Nice. Okay. How do I? There we go. We're supposed to be going to Toshi's room for a message, but we'll take a peek at who else we got here. Yoshiki's room. Let me in, Yoshiki. Ooh, hey.
Who are you? What are you doing? You can't come in here right now.
I can't.
There's a meeting going on. You're going to have to leave. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. I don't know if y'all are familiar with what Yoshiki looked like after he cut his hair. Like after he had that very long, permed curly hair when he first went short. But his assistant, presumably his assistant there, looks exactly like him. So I'm like, does he hire assistants that look like him? Is that like a prerequisite for, to be Yoshiki's assistant? The massage room. Ooh. Do not enter. Why not? I'm a member of the press. I deserve a massage. What do you mean? Toshi's room. Here's Toshi's room. Supposed to get a phone message here. Toshi's got a guitar over there too. Got his makeup. Cool. Quite a makeup kit. Sasuga VK. Is this how we... Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Mosh mosh.
The
Hello?
cameraman is not ready.
Okay.
He has to take a film of Toshi-san.
Toshi!
On the stand. Hurry up. Make him stand by.
By him, you mean me, right? I'm the cameraman. Tashi-san. Shameful. Mispronouncing his name. So now we need to go to the elevator to the 4th floor so that we can get some shots of Toshi coming out into rehearsal. So there is a little bit of a photo taking element to this. So this is like the quote unquote gameplay of this, I would say, is this photo taking part. So like we were picking up reels of film, as you saw earlier, we were picking up a lens when we haven't taken a single picture yet. And nor could I even, I can't just freely take pictures. It's at designated times. And this is about to be one of those times. All right. I forget what button it is, but we'll see. What button is this? Oh, I'm not even sure what. Was it start? Oh, it was a trigger. Okay. Get the one of them turning around there. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Oh, get the close up. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We get one from high up. Yeah, that's a good angle. I like that. Okay. Good. Oh, I meant to get the side one, but that was so quick. I don't want to waste... I don't think I take pictures of anyone else but him. At least I don't recall that being the case. Okay, we got some good photos, I'd say. Oh, we get the stylish one with him with the lights in back of him. That's pretty... Oh, yeah, the peace sign, the peace sign. Yep. Cool. That's pretty good. Good photos, good photos. All right. So now we're going to go back down to the 1st floor. Why are we going back down to the 1st floor? So we can go back and talk to the guy who wouldn't let us in first. I think we may have already done it, but, oh no, oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, we're done with you in the elevator, buddy. We're good for now. Not forever, but for now. Let's go talk to him again, just in case, like, talking to him at this point is a trigger or something like that. Will you let us in now?
Hey, there's no way.
There's no way?
You can't disturb the rehearsal.
I can't disturb the rehearsal?
No way.
No way. All right. Fine, no way. We can't disturb the rehearsal. All right. So now we want to go up to the 2nd floor. It says we need to get the mineral water in the 2nd floor hallway. So we're going to go find some mineral water, apparently. Who likes mineral water? Guess I kind of do. I don't mind it. All right, we're going back to our friend again. Even though he knows who we are and he's
Good
seen
morning,
us,
sir. Can I see your pass,
he
please?
asks for our pass
You're a
every single
cameraman.
time.
Please come in.
Please come in. All right, 2nd floor. All right, where's our mineral water? Let's see. It was... That way was the way we went. Maybe it's down this way. Let's take a look and see what's down this way. Oh, mineral water. We can't enter there, so this is just a dead end. I love they're really like trying to create a sense of space, like, and also I realized I just didn't update the game tag. One moment. It's not too late for us to do that. We're not playing Noriko anymore. After all. Let's see here. All right, now we're all updated there. Good stuff. All right, let's turn ourselves back around and find that mineral water. Wait, did I just go by? I did not turn myself. That was not turning myself back around at all. This is turning myself back around. Maybe it's further down the hall this way. Keep going, keep going. Is this Yoshiki's room? Is that where we're at? No, that's the massage room. That was Toshi's room. Yep, okay. All right, there's a dude. You got mineral water, buddy?
Oh, are you one of the staff?
Yes.
Could you take this to Mr. Heath?
Mr. Heath, yes, sure. You gave me a big old pile of mineral water. Good. You get. More rehearsal calls. All right, and so now we need to do as he says and take it to Mr. Heath. Our bassist, Mr. Heath, we don't actually get to see, but we sure can go to his room. Mineral water, right? He's not here right now. He's probably at rehearsal. Okay, so we talked to the staff guy in Heath's room, and now we need to go to backstage on the first floor and photograph Heath. So I guess we do still have to do some shots. So back to the elevator. Isn't walking around fun? I know I love it. Having to stop every few steps just to choose my direction. I recognize the importance of a game like Myst, but I was never very terribly into it. I don't know if anybody else has a history with games of this type. But they were never super my thing. Also, I got my first PC in like 96 or something, which was certainly still a relevant time for Myst. But anyway. Okay, so we're now going backstage, shooting Heath. No, not shooting, filming him. Shooting in that sense. Which I believe means we have to go back to our favorite friend here, who maybe will finally let us in because we have the mineral water, right?
Are you talking about Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Huh. Water, sir? Okay, come on in.
Thank you. Early days of walking simulators, yeah, for sure. I just wish I was able to walk a little more fluidly, you know what I mean? Okay, here we go. Where's Heath? Let me take some shots of Heath. There he is. Coming out of like a cage or something. Got some cool hair there. I like that. Don't want to waste all of our film just in case, so I'll be a little judicious with it. We'll call it there unless he gives me another really compelling shot. I think your photos get looked at in some capacity at the end of the game. It's not really like, might be some kind of a score. I don't completely remember, but we'll find out. All right, so we got to film Heath. And now, if we go up to Pata's room, I guess we get to search for something for Pata. So it's a lot of like schlubbing back and forth through this guy in the elevator to like, okay, now we got to go to so-and-so's room. Now we got to go so-and-so's room and, you know, do something for them.
Good morning, sir. Can I see your pass, please?
I mean, you just let me in, buddy.
In.
Like, you... Okay. Okay. Fine. Yes, I'm a cameraman. Please come in. And let's go back to Pata's room. We're working our way through the members. Nope, not that way. This way. What's that? Yep, Pata's room. Okay, cool. What do we got? Did you see? So I didn't catch what, but we were searching for... Pata's not here right now, but we're searching for something for him. From one of his costume people. Oh, actually, I think they were saying search for Pata. My bad. Like, he's not here. Can you find him for me? And so now we get to go back downstairs and find Pata backstage. If I remember correctly, speaking of baseball earlier, we get a little, I guess Pata is a big baseball fan. Because as I recall, he has some baseball memorabilia in his particular part here. I forgot. I don't remember. I don't remember also having to film Hide, but I guess maybe you do, and maybe you have to film. We'll just take a couple pictures each of them, and that'll be good enough for us. All right. I'm looking for Pata.
Yes, please.
Yes, please? Okay. Thank you. Where's Pata? Oh, there he is. I think he's got some... Is it Yomiuri Giants? I don't remember. Yeah, I think it's Yomiuri Giants stuff. Let's take a couple of him and we'll save the rest. Sorry, Pata, we only have so much film. We still on Toshi. And if we get to take pictures of Hide, we gotta take more pictures of him than we do of you. Sorry. Sorry, buddy. You're cool, but you're not Hide. Right? All right. We found Pata. He was hanging out with his baseball stuff. So now I believe we get to do the fun part. The part we've all been waiting for. We get to find Hide. And this is easily the most memorable part of this game. So we're actually going to hit a game over condition here purposely. I'll do a save state before so I can walk it back easier. Let me guess, he's not going to recognize me again. You're a cameraman.
Good morning, sir. Can I see your pass, please?
No.
Ah, you're a cameraman.
No.
Please come in.
I don't wanna. You can't make me. Up to floor 2 again. Out we go. I think Hide's room is way down at the end, if I remember correctly. So we got a little bit of a walk here. Is it... This was Heath, right? Yeah, there's Heath. Hide, what? Okay, so this is the catering room. I don't think anyone's in the catering room yet. I think we have to go... Yep, so you got different snacks and lots of alcohol over there. Can't do anything with it yet. First, we got to go to Hide's room and talk to his assistant. Hide gets the one on the end. He said to go bring him some alcohol. All right. By the way, Hide, the only one who did any, like, acting in this game, as you're about to see. Lucky boy to errand boy, right? Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what's happened to me here. You're about to see some actual acting from Hide on this. Like, the other ones were clearly just behind the scenes, you know, footage of them on stage or, like, hanging out or whatever. Like, just promotional stuff. But Hide actually does original acting for this. And, like, respect, man. You put some effort into this project. I appreciate that. Okay. So... now we have a staff member here.
What would you like to drink?
What do we like?
We have wine, bourbon, and Japanese sake.
Wine, bourbon, and Japanese sake. Okay, we're going to make a save state here. Unless, of course, this one doesn't... Okay, it supports save. I thought I hit F6, but apparently I didn't. All right, so... for this one, we're going to bring him bourbon. We're going to bring him the old wild turkey. We couldn't afford the staff, X-Japan's staff, X-Japan's record company couldn't afford a better bottle of bourbon than wild turkey. But okay, so we don't know what he wants, right? He doesn't really give us any clues, right? He literally just said, bring him sake, which for those who aren't familiar, we in the West think of sake as meaning sake, like this one here. You know, the Japanese alcoholic drink sake. But when they say sake in Japanese, it just means alcohol. Like osake or sake is just a word for alcohol. Beer is sake. Wine is sake. I mean, they also say biru, wine, you know, more specifically. But just like the general term you would use for alcohol, an alcoholic drink, is sake. So... the origins of it here probably came from, like, you know, I don't know, World War II or something, and people hearing them say sake and thought that they meant specifically like their, you know, rice-based alcohol. But they would call what we call sake nihonshu. So this is nihonshu, and this is wine, and this is bourbon. So we're going to bring him the bourbon. Because, yeah, I don't know. He seems like he seems like he could be... He definitely doesn't strike me as a wine drinker. I'll say that right now. He's not a wine drinker. I'd say he either wants Nihonshu or he wants bourbon. But like, he's a rock and roller, you know. Could see him with a bottle of bourbon, right? Let's do bourbon.
Here's your bourbon.
Thank you. That's a little too smiley, but thank you very much. Appreciate that. Getting a Snickers? You're not gonna give me a Snickers too? I saw him. I saw the Snickers there. I want a Snickers. All right, so we're bringing him the bourbon. Here we go. Back to Hide's room for the bourbon. Yes, bourbon. Thank you. I don't know who that is in the corner, but here's Hide. Found him some bourbon. He hasn't had bourbon in a while. He's just drinking it from the bottle. Like a rock star. Okay. I don't think he wanted the bourbon. Don't think that's what he wanted. What are you doing? Come here. So we angered up Hide with spread bourbon. I love it. I love Hide with spread bourbon. Okay, we can continue yes or no, but we'll just go ahead and reload from the save state here. So, spoilers, what he wants is sake. What he wants is Nihonshu. So we're going to give him what he wants. Hide knew the assignment. He did. Like that's, I mean, it maybe wasn't a lot of acting, right? He does a little more acting here when we bring him the right thing too, but like, good on him, you know? He is like the only member of this band who put effort into this project, like any kind of real effort into it. Like he was here for a performance too, and he probably said, fuck it, I'll record some stuff for the game. Sure, why not? I'll break a mirror. That sounds like fun. All right. It was effortlessly cool. He just said, Nihonshu ne, arigato. So he called it Nihonshu there. Nihonshu desu. You get me, don't you? Oh, he's inviting us to sit down. Oh, he's offering us drink too. Oh, he invited us to drink with him and Pata afterward, after the show. Which I would do that in a heartbeat. I mean, you can't drink with Hide anymore because he isn't alive, but boy, oh boy, would I have given the chance. Not that I was barely over drinking age when he passed, but boy, oh boy. Okay, so yeah, this is, I remember thinking about this in the walkthrough the first time. So the walkthrough that I'm looking at, I must have been using the same one, says, bring him the Nihonshu, get it, bring it to him, and then you get to film him. But I don't think you get to film him. No. He's come back later. So yeah, I think they got it a little mixed up because like you're not filming Hide in here. So I don't know if that was a mistake or if it happens later or what. But it seemed to me like you can't actually photograph Hide in this like you can the other folks. So now we're supposed to go to Yoshiki's room. You don't actually, Yoshiki is way too precious to appear in this. But I think there's like some sort of an announcement or something that happens if I remember correctly. That's the massage room, which apparently we can't go into. This is Yoshiki, I think. So let's try and go in here again. Oh, his assistant.
I'm sorry, you can't come in. He has a meeting right now.
There's a meeting right now. Oh, the actual performance is going to be starting soon. So that was probably the announcement we were looking for. So we need to go down to the press room to get more film. Because we are running low. We almost used it all up on Pata. So let's see, back down to 1. And the press room, which I think was back near the beginning there, if I remember correctly. This isn't like that big of a space or anything like that. It's just, you walk so slowly around it. Was that was the staff room? I think the press room is one of these. Was it this? Yes, press room. Okay, cool. So now maybe we get more film. Oh, it's a guy.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Good work.
Oh, we're showing him photos.
You've done a great job.
Thank you.
This isn't bad at all.
Thank you.
Terrific. You just keep working with this film and give me your best shot in the concert as well.
Keep working with this film. They got some low budget actors. Boy, oh boy. Like, I would believe that these were actually people on their staff that they just paid to do this. And they were like, can you just do the shoot the thing for the video game? We don't want to have to pay like real actors to do this. And so apparently, I think I tried this too. This walkthrough says that, oops, I walked too far. I need to go back to the elevator. I'm supposed to be able to go, according to this, up to Yoshiki's room and shoot Yoshiki, but I don't think that will work. I'll try. But I don't think he'll actually be available there. Incidentally, the other game over condition is there's some part of this that you can go to at a certain time and you'll run into a staff member that like pulls you aside and yells at you and tells you to get out of here, and like that's a game over condition. But you have to run into him in like a very specific spot. All right.
Good morning, sir. Can I see your pass, please?
We're really doing this
You're a
again.
cameraman. Please come in.
It must be exhausting to be this guy, I swear. All right. Try going back up to 2 to see if maybe we can film Yoshiki. I have a feeling we probably can't, but we'll try. It was here. Yep. Oh, that's right. It's like not even really filming Yoshiki, is it? It's like this like glimpse into his like absolutely palatial room. Like his like resort of a room. Look at this. There's his piano. But it's like you don't even film him. The rose on the keyboard. Yeah, we're not even really filming it. Oh no, I guess we are. That was kind of a terrible shot, but... Yoshiki floundering around when playing piano as he does. Oh God, how many pianos does Yoshiki own? That's a great question. All of them. All of the pianos. And maybe all of the drum kits, too. All of the clear drum kits. Yeah, well, welcome Fight Club. You're in my neck of the woods this time. How crazy. I was actually I was downtown last night for a Creepy Nuts concert. They were in Chicago last night. So I was there probably somewhat in alignment with your arrival. There were no clear pianos or clear drum kits there, unfortunately. Yoshiki was not in attendance. I think Yoshiki lives in LA mostly these days. Bounces back and forth between LA and Japan, I think. And probably has pianos at both locations, so I would assume he owns at least 2. Let's see here. So if we go to the 3rd floor... we can do the other part of the gameplay in this video, I suppose. And we can edit together a video for Rusty Nail, which was their current... Oh, this is Ina, their sort of manipulator and producer, friend of Hide's. Ina desu. Rusty Nail starting soon. Yeah, I'll try editing. It's one of these. Right. Got it. We're switching back and forth between monitors to like make a cut. Make a cut of the video. It's X Japan make my video. I figured you would. I figured you would understand what I meant when I said creepy nuts. Okay, how do I start? Okay, there we go. All right, rusty nail. So we're switching back and forth between these monitors and like doing cuts, I guess, is the idea. I mean, I wish editing real videos was this easy. Turn this down a little bit so rusty nail doesn't land me in trouble. Better than the Sega CD Make My Video games. I've never actually played those games, so I'll take... I'm familiar with the idea of them, but I've never played like the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch one or the In Excess one or any of those perennial favorites on the Sega CD. Rusty Nail's a good one. Where's Hide? Give me Hide. Do I have to edit the whole thing? I guess I do. I can't really skip out of it. So we're stuck. We're listening to all of Rusty Nail. Not that I mind, but... Don't sue me, Yoshiki, please. Don't. I'm playing the video game. It's all in context. This is fair use. No loss. You don't. You have way more money than I do. You don't need mine. But yeah, a lot of these. We'll kind of look at one next stream that's a little bit similar to this. In this way, but so many of these were like, the appeal of these at the time was like, look, you can have live footage or whatever and just like edit it together in a video. And like, again, at the time, maybe that was interesting, but I'm just kind of like, I'd rather just watch like a live performance that someone else edited together, you know? Yeah, I'm trying to keep talking over this, so the chances for a I knew the chance I was taking here by streaming this to YouTube with some of this like $9.99 at 10,000 yen. Yeah, Fight Club. I was gonna ask you. I was like, how? Maybe you make more of your money in USD, in which case it doesn't really matter to you. But I was going to ask you what taking a vacation to America was like these days as a person who lives in Japan, and like how hard that is hitting you financially. But maybe you make most of your money in USD, so like you're living the high life back in Japan, and it's just sort of normal here. Not that prices and everything haven't gone up in America, so your money is not gonna get you as far as it once would in USD or not. I mean, prices have gone up on everything all over. Obviously, it's not just America, right? But yeah. I'll turn down Rusty Nail a little bit more here. Yeah, I think on Twitch I've seen people get just VODs muted in parts, which is not a big deal. YouTube is where you maybe have some kind of danger of like the audio getting muted or like a copyright thing. But you know what? I'm gonna fly by the seat of my pants here, because this is not the last game we're gonna play that is in danger of this. But I would say of all the people involved in these games that are most likely to take action against someone, I trust Yoshiki the least to be cool. For all the reasons that I talked about earlier about how Yoshiki is not cool these days. Take that for whatever you think it means, but... Oh, I haven't been editing this video very well, have I? I haven't been moving this camera around. I did a pretty poor job as an editor. I wish editing real videos were this easy. All I had to do is move around a D-pad and my video was done. I'm here to tell you that is nothing how it works. Not even close. Hide's cool jacket as always. I know if he sues me, I'll offer him a copy of my book, which he will then proceed to sue me more for because I wrote about him in it. I don't think you can sue someone for writing about someone in a book, but God knows if there was a way for him to do it, he probably would. Okay, so we edited the Rusty Nail PV. Awesome. Are you serious? You edit a podcast with a D-pad? Like you use a controller to control your editing software? That's interesting. I'm intrigued by this. Let's see here. So we want to go back down to the first floor. So that we can go to the live area. They're having the performance. Also, I thought, do you sometimes edit your own episodes of Retronauts? I thought Retronauts had like a full-time edit, or maybe you edit your weekly podcast, perhaps. The This Week in Retros. Maybe you mean you do the editing for those. Geese Howard pretzel equals inserts a sensor beef. A geese. I assume you mean his pretzel input, the old Fatal Fury pretzel inputs, or is Geese Howard a known fan of the pretzel?
You say what?
You said
You're a
what?
cameraman?
Yes.
You got permission?
Yes.
Huh. I don't see your armband.
What?
No. You can't come in here.
What do you mean no? Why? Fine. You're making me get an armband. You let me back here like 10 minutes ago, man. Come on. Nobody in this game is cool, except for Hide. All right, this was yep, we're going back to the old Tokyo Patrol staff room to get ourselves an armband. Where my armband? Right there on the jacket? I would like that jacket. I bet finding one of those, I bet you probably could find one of those on like a Mercari auction or something, but I bet it's a mint. All right, so we just took the whole jacket. We stole someone's jacket, armband and all. Okay. All right, well, we got our armband, so let's get out of here. Now maybe they'll let us backstage. Even though they let us backstage before. I can't help but say it. Come on, buddy. I got the armband. I'm wearing the jacket. Don't you see me?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. And now I think the ending is we're just watching a live performance, as far as I remember. We've more or less done it here. Tears, I think, is what we're listening to here, if I remember correctly. Was that Hide running along with the camera? Yeah. I forgot to ask earlier, but anyone have any ex-Japan history? Do we have fans with favorite songs at all? Anybody have an ex-Japan song that they like? I won't judge you too harshly for your choice, I promise. I think I mean, their ballads are good. I would say they're more known for their ballads, or at least they used to be, than anything else, but I think their ballads are a little overrated, personally. They got very samey after a while. Like, you had, like, Endless Rain and Forever Love, which were, like, big game changers. But then it's like, isn't Tears and Say Anything kind of, like, derivative of those two, I feel like? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, so as far as I recall, Starlight Midori Land, X Japan only really did shows in America after they broke up and came back, you know, with Sugizo and everything. They did some tours. They weren't particularly long, but they did some shows. I do not think they did really anything in America before that, on like this run when they still have Hide. There may have been isolated shows, but I don't think they did anything major. Yeah, Fight Club, you raise a really good question. So, excuse me, I remember this being a thing when I still looked at Twitter/X, back when I did that. You know, after they were trying to like change it over from Twitter to X, but before that change was as complete. I remember reading tweets from Yoshiki saying that he got contacted by them, saying that they were trying to actually brand it as X Japan. And he was like, nope, you're not doing that. Sorry, guys, I own that. Because they own the copyright on X Japan, but they don't own the copyright on X. So, but they were apparently trying to call it X Japan instead of just X in Japan. I don't know why. But Yoshiki, like, put an end to that. And, like, I got into this a little bit earlier in the stream. I don't have a lot of respect for Yoshiki these days, but I do have respect for him that he shut that shit down. Like, good on him for that. But beyond that, he's not on my good list for other reasons. I respect what he's done a lot. He's made great contributions to Japanese rock, but he lost his way at some point, I think. As happens. You know, people forget their roots. People forget where they came from. When you reach a certain amount of success, you know, it happens. You're not the first, they won't be the last. And he, even if nothing happens with X Japan from here on out, which it, for all the world seems like it won't, they seem to have hit like a stall, you know, trapped in like a holding pattern for not completely clear reasons. But even if they don't do a thing again, like, you know, they've left behind a lot, right? They're a legendary band. No doubt. And, you know, they had 4 real good albums. I have edited, it's a, yeah, they have me watch the ending video that I barely edited because I stopped moving the camera around at some point in there. So yeah, I guess I edited this video. You could say that I edited this video. Sure, why not? I can't remember if it shows us anything after this, but we'll ride it out to the end just in case. Yeah, I didn't actually catch them in any, because they were at Woodstock one year shortly after they came back in the 2000s, and like that's in my neighborhood. So I could have gone. I didn't gone. I just don't think I had the money at the time. But I've had a couple of chances to see them in America over the years. I probably should have taken one of them. If I look back on it, I was like, I probably should have done it. But like, I don't know. Hide was my favorite member, and it just they never felt it never felt quite right without him. And so I kind of poo-pooed it for that reason. And I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have taken the opportunity just to see him because it still would have been fun. I'm sure they would have played, largely old songs because they haven't even made that many new songs over the years. They haven't even put together another full album. Like, they've released songs here and there, and none of them have been anything I thought was really worth anything. But they have made some new music. But word is there's a record company or a rights thing keeping them from doing a new album, so that's why they've kind of been scarce with that. But seeing him would have been fun. It didn't happen. I'm over it. There are bands I haven't seen yet that I want to go see more anyway. I definitely still have a Japanese concert bucket list. We've been getting a lot more of them here in Chicago recently. Over the past 2-3 years, let's see, who have I seen here and not who I've gone to see in Japan? Here in Chicago, I've seen Ado twice. I saw Creepy Nuts last night. I saw Atarashi Gakko no Riras. I saw Fujikaze, and I think that might be it. I think that's it. And I've been to Japan several times over the years and seen a handful of concerts over there too. But it's crazy. Like, my history with Japanese music goes back to the late 90s, and I never in a million... If you would have told me in 1999... Well, I mean, first of all, if you would have told me in 1999 that I'd lived near Chicago, I'd been like, what the hell are you talking about? I live in Michigan, you weirdo. I'm not going to live in Chicago. But even apart from that, I would have called you a liar if you would have said, "Oh yeah, you'll be able to see Japanese bands from time to time. They'll come to America on tour." I'd have been like, "What are you, crazy? No, they won't." That wouldn't be a feasible thing for them to do under any circumstances, but it is apparently if you're popular enough. So I think Ado and Creepy Nuts got by on those anime tie-ins that made them viable, and I mean Ado is like gigantic in Japan, so I'm really not I'm the least surprised that she got to tour here out of everyone. Fave Japanese band ever is Envy. Got to see them like twice. I am unfamiliar with Envy. I'll have to look them up. Put them on the list here, so I can see what they're all about. Oh, I can't immediately connect songs, but seeing a picture of them, I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen pictures of these guys before. They were formed in 1992. Okay, I might be pretty into them. I'll check out some of their stuff. Does Ado perform through a screen and an animated version of her appears? So I don't admittedly, I don't know the details of the technology behind the Ado box, which is what that's called. It's called the Ado box. But I think it is not... You're not really seeing an animated version of her, I don't think. It's more some sort of technology that obscures her from being able to be seen dead on. Like, the movements you're seeing are her actual movements as she's doing them. But it's some kind of technology that just shadow boxes her or something. I admittedly really do not know how it works, and I haven't ever researched the details of it, but when she performed here, she came in the box. She came in the Ado box. And the first time I saw her at a much smaller venue, I saw her at the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago. Pretty small. They took away our phones from us at the door. They did not let us go into the actual performance area with our phones. They sealed them in... Actually, sorry, they didn't take away our phones from us, but they sealed them in bags so we couldn't get at them. And then we had to get the staff to unseal them when we went back through the door to the other side. And then I saw her at United Center, which is a much bigger venue. And they did not take our phones away from us there, but they made it very clear the staff will be watching at all times. And if we see anyone pull out a phone and filming, you will be made to leave. So that's kind of how that went. And yeah, that's X Japan's foray into video games there. Before we wrap, we'll actually look at the Famitsu for this as well, as we like to do. Because I did when I reviewed or not reviewed really, but when I wrote about it for the book, Gaming Alexandria had not gotten around to scanning Famitsu this far into, 1997, or no, 96? What are we at here? 95, when this game was released on the Saturn, but they since have. And so we have the benefit of being able to look at what it was scored. I had no idea at the time. I do now know. So, we got some killers on this page too. So this is the this is the October 27th, 1995 issue of Famitsu. And in here we got some killers here too. Let me I'll see if I can zoom this in one. No, not that kind of zoom. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting the wrong key here. There we go. We got some killers. We got Magical Drop on the Super Famicom being reviewed here. Yeah, auto concerts are strict. I don't know how they do it in Japan. I've never seen her in Japan. I think they probably trust people because there is a bit there. The Fight Club can probably vouch for this. They don't take your phone away from you, but like it is known that you do not pull out your phone and take pictures or film at a concert in Japan. You don't do it. In America, it's very different. Like as people have the phones out for the whole concerts, recording the whole concerts, right? For the most part. But in Japan, you do not do it. No one I'm sure you'd be escorted out if you were caught doing it, but it is a cultural thing and it is not a thing you do. I have been to one concert where they said, this is the time, you can do it now until we tell you can't for a 5-minute period or whatever. And I was shocked when that happened. But when you're seeing a Japanese artist in America, with the exception of Otto, it's America rules. You can take out your phone and you can film as much as you want, and they are not allowed to care. But Otto was the only exception that I've ever been to here where they were just like, nope, don't do it. Don't film. I think it's the risk of somehow you have managed to compromise the technology and you get a photo of her. Unlikely, but they probably don't want to take that chance. And since so much of Otto's thing depends on her anonymity, even though she kind of did a little bit of a reveal of her face in a recent video, there's still some kind of effects on it to where you can't maybe immediately identify it to a person on the street, but she's kind of done it. So maybe that was a part of her plan. But anyway, yeah, we've got Magical Drop. We've got this is the 32X port of Virtua Fighter, which back in the day was considered to be better than the Saturn port, if I remember correctly. But here they call it the Mega Drive Super 32X cartridge. So much longer name. You've got King of Boxing for the Saturn, everyone's favorite Saturn title, King of Boxing. You have, of course, X Japan Virtual Shock 001, which we'll get to. And everyone's second favorite Sega Saturn game, Tokimeki Mahjong Paradise. So I don't know if anyone's played Tokimeki Mahjong Paradise, but it actually got halfway decent scores. 5-3-4-4. Oh, Contender. It's called Contender. I see. I'll zoom this out a little bit because it makes it a little bit easier for me to navigate. I think I went down one too many pages. Are we? Here we are, yes. All right. Contender. I have never played a boxing game on the Sega Saturn, so I am unfamiliar with that particular one. So X Japan got a 7466. Not terrible. So let's take a look at our highest and lowest scores before I kind of wrap for the evening here, because I'm running a little bit late, a little bit later than I normally do. So he thinks it's a piece of software that's going in an interesting direction. It'll probably appeal to fans, but again, kind of like we were seeing with Noriko earlier, like as a game. So yeah, game tech in terms of game technology. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. It basically it has the capability of impressing people with like its sheer use of technology, right? You know, the FMV, you're moving around in the FMV mist style. And he thinks it will make people very happy. And he's citing it as a good point that it has very simple gameplay, and perhaps this is meant for fans. Like, yes, it's very obviously meant for fans, buddy. But yeah, I don't think there's any joy to be had in that game if you are not an X Japan fan. Like, I do not know why you would buy that if you were not an X Japan fan. It just does not really make any sense. The Sega Saturn King of Boxing was released, and the rest is Victory Boxing. Contender was a PS1 game. Okay. Victory Boxing. So our lowest scoring person who gave it a 4 says, I gave it a low score, but the fans are going to buy it. Of course. He said basically, like, if this was a game for an artist that I liked, I would definitely be buying it too, which is fair. It's like there's not much different from watching this live footage on a video. But it was cool to be able to see backstage. It's a new style of game. But if you look at simply as a game, it's kind of like, like what even really is this? You can't, tell where you're moving to. Like, it's not easy to see where you're moving to. And so you're just kind of moving around aimlessly. So like very, very valid feedback. I feel like, again, it's like a fan item, right? It's definitely a fan item, and it's not really going to do much for people who are not into X Japan. Like, something you can really say for a lot of these games. I feel like King of Boxing, Victory Boxing got a US version called Center Ring Boxing. The boxing video game expert. My goodness. So I'm going to get ready to wrap things up here. So next week is the week of Midwest Gaming Classic. That's going to happen on the weekend. So I think I should still be streaming Tuesday and Thursday. I don't think it should interfere with that. I'll just be real busy Saturday and Sunday at that event. So Thursday, I'm going to do more of this. We're going to get into some PS1 stuff. I won't say what the games are, but there's a I don't know if I'll be able to do 3 because of what the third one is, and it's a little bit longer, but we'll see how it goes. We're definitely going to do some more Japanese music games next Thursday. Tuesday, I'm a little bit undecided, but after that Final Fight port stream that I did last week, people were talking about the fairly recent Mega Drive version, the version that someone created on the Mega Drive, like from scratch, and some of the things that they added to it. I kind of think I want to play that. Like, it sounds really interesting, like that they put Maki into it as a third character. So I think I might pick that up and check that out and see, just kind of play live and see how that feels and what I think of it. So I think we might extend the Final Fight goodness, but maybe not in the way that people thought. So yeah, that's my cat is harassing me, telling me that it is time to stop. So I think I am going to call it here. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be doing some different stuff this weekend, but I'm at least gonna be putting in a little bit of time furthering that final fight video. I've got the script all done, the VO I need to record, and then I just need to start editing. So we'll see how that all plays out. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Starlight Midori Land, Red Spectra, Fight Club Live from Chicago. Take it easy, everyone. And Ash, thanks for tuning in. Have a good night, everybody, and hopefully I'll see y'all Tuesday and Thursday next week. Bye.